Happy Sunday, y'all. Happy Sunday. It's time for another Pretty Goals. Talk politics too. Come on in. As you come in, share the live. Let's have a wonderful conversation. Pretty Goals talking politics. We got a
Yes.
special guest for you today.
It's pretty good stuff. Politics. Please share the live, everyone.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
We are sharing to our various platforms as you all come in. It's a beautiful Sunday. Ah. Happy Sunday. We got a good one for y'all today.
Sunday. Hmm.
What you doing today? Come on in. Share the live as you come in, y'all. We're sharing the live ourselves. We got a good one for you today. I hope you got questions for Petra.
That's right.
Happy Sunday. Share the live, y'all. Let's talk politics. We're not just here for good looks now. We know we look good.
That's
We
right.
ain't here just for
We're
good looks.
sharing,
Come on.
everyone. Please share. Please share. Please
It's
share.
serious business here. Okay? This is our
Mm-hmm.
future. Future of our kids and grandkids. Come on in. This is serious business.
Serious
Let's go.
business. Serious business.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Happy Sunday.
Okay.
We have Arsenal, we've got 202 platforms, don't we? We
Yeah.
we got a lot of
Yes.
sharing to do, y'all. Come
Yes, it's
on
a
in.
lot of sharing. We have to share that live and take the story far and wide.
For sure.
Anupaleo, share it to the to our social media, to our WhatsApp, our messenger, any
Yes.
venue that we can release the message. People need to see us and hear us and
Let's get
be part of the
involved.
conversation because we have to talk. It's a lot of it's a lot of discussions, a lot of you know,
It's a lot.
sharing, discussing. That's what we can do
This is serious. Let's talk. It's
because
like
it's
one more.
serious
Anubale.
business. Yes, it's serious
It's
business,
not just
y'all.
about CWO. It cannot just be about CWO. It's serious business. Share the
hmm
live.
Sometimes Margaret, sometimes we think about the sea wall, and it reminds me of the Titanic. You know, when the Titanic was sinking, and there was
Yes.
this playing of the and people were dancing, but they were dying anyway. So
I
is it that
know.
we're dying anyway? So let us just have a good time and die, or they should have gotten alerts, and maybe if they were alerts, they would have been saved.
For
But the
sure.
Titanic was going down, and everybody was having a good time.
For sure.
Well, Dominica
Man.
reminds me of that. It reminds me
You
of
know.
that so badly.
We got to do
Ferdinand,
better, man.
share the live. Welcome, Ferdinand. Please share. Please share. Share to all our guests, all our friends,
Yes.
people from near and far. We need to come on. It's a beautiful Sunday. It's a Sunday evening for us to talk.
Yes.
Anupale. Let us share ideas. And
Yes, indeed.
let's just do our thing. You all can jump in into the discussion, and
For sure.
present your ideas as well. Speak
Your
your mind.
question.
Yeah, if you have any questions, as Margaret said, then leave your questions. But today is a beautiful day the Lord has made, and it is for us
Mm-hmm.
to be glad and rejoice in it. We are here for a
Mm-hmm.
purpose. Let us serve the purpose we are here for, you know?
For sure. For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
Yes,
you think
guys.
we can go on? You think we can start?
Yes, I think you can see
Everybody, do us a
scripture.
favor, y'all. Everybody on the live with us, just share this live right now. Go ahead and share. Click the share button,
Click the share button.
and let's start talking today. This is serious
Yes,
business.
Anupale.
Yeah. So yeah. Good evening, officially, everybody. Welcome to another Pretty Girls Talk Politics too. We're rocking the froze today. We're rocking the natural hair today, Marceline. Yeah, we're rocking the crowns today, the pretty hair. Yeah, yeah, we're rocking it. So y'all, this is a space Marceline and I created so that we can talk not just about makeup and hair and fashion. Yeah, there's enough of that. There's enough of that. This is a place where we bring beauty and brains together, bold questions, real political conversation. We're talking about things that many people seem to be putting water in their mouth to talk about. And we want to bring these things to the table. We're adults. Yeah. Tonight, we're joined by a woman who has stepped in just a little further into one of the most challenging spaces in Dominica, politics. Politics is no joke in Dominica, y'all. It's an initiation, it's trial by fire in this Dominica political system. Petra Carbon George has been announced as the new leader of Team Unity Dominica as the party prepares for the next general elections. They're introducing their candidates across several constituencies. So tonight is not just about titles, it's not about campaigning or political promises. What we want to know tonight is who is Petra Carbon George? Why does she believe she's ready to lead? What makes her party different? What's her real plan for Dominica? Because we are at a very crucial juncture in Dominica's history. Very crucial. We're at a fork in the road. And depending on the choices we make, it's sink or swim. Okay? So we're going to talk about jobs, we're going to talk about farming, agriculture, young people, political cooperation, possible loss of the CBI, loss of visa access for many people. Essentially, I mean, we can go, but you got to have so much money that you've already ruled so many people out. These are serious questions, and so they deserve serious conversation. We cannot be quiet. We cannot act as if this is, oh, y'all have talked about this enough. No. Yeah. So we're not here just to be, like dainty with the questions. We're talking with a little grace, yes, but courage and a little sparkle, but seriousness. Get comfortable. Join in the conversation. Ask your questions. Please ask your questions. Type them in the chat. Petra Carbon, welcome, welcome to Pretty Girls Talk Politics too. How are
Afternoon,
you?
afternoon. Yes, it's a pleasure, always a pleasure to be part of these Pretty Girls and other platforms that you hold. And always a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you.
Thank
Marceline,
you.
what you got? Marceline, what you got for Petra? What you got for the people as we start tonight?
What I got? Well, I've got always got my beautiful greetings to my people. And first of all, I want to say officially good evening to you, Margaret. Good evening to a special guest,
Mhm.
Miss Cabon, and leader of the is it the UPP?
Team Unity
Or Team
Dominica.
Unity Dominica. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Team Unity Dominica. Our
Yes.
Facebook listeners, a special good evening to you all. Friends from near and far, a blessed Sunday evening to you all as well. Thank you for connecting with us. Once again, we are here, and it's always a privilege when we meet on different platforms because we do meet on different platforms. This time around, we are on a Pretty Girls Talk Politics. We were not there last week, but we are here today. Today, where we can discuss, we can share ideas, we can get to know each other a little better. Of course, we can agree to disagree with no hard feelings,
Mhm.
but we continue to love each other as one Dominican people, bearing in mind the common goals foremost in our minds, our deliberations and actions, love for country. And this is what pushes us to change the current trajectory that has not
Indeed.
worked for the Dominican people and the country for the past 26 years. So I welcome to this platform Mrs. Petra Carbon George and everyone linked to Pretty Girls Talk Politics. Of course, my name is Marceline Edwards. So thank you for joining with us this evening. And please share the live, everyone, as Margaret indicated. This is my intro for now. Thank you.
Indeed. Thank you. Now we have a little bit of, I'm hearing somebody something. Is there already, if there's anything in the background, let me know. I'm hearing a little bit of feedback
Yeah, that's from far away. That's the
from
music far
far away.
away.
So is that the music from Poker Run?
Yeah.
Wow. And I know how far you are. So that's very loud. So, y'all, today there's an activity in my home village of Tukari. It's called Poker Run, and Tukari is the poker city. So imagine we can hear the music from there, and it's quite a distance. Anyway, Petra, we're going straight for it. One of our first questions we like to ask people is, what is their pretty girl politics story? What's your story with this politics business? Because this ain't no easy adventure. What's your story
No.
with politics?
Well, politics on it whole, I mean, the type of politics now have changed. When I was growing up, politics was more about going out there, telling people what is your plans, how you're going to do it. Now politics have changed dynamics. They people go out and attack you personally. People stop speaking to you when you feel your point that don't align with them.
Mm,
And so that's the type of politics it have in Dominica. But for me, it's me for all about my people trying to help my people. That's my
okay.
type of politics. It's all about trying to help my people. I come to Dominica every year. I see things, I hear things, and I decided, you know what? Some people they want to be part of the political system, but they don't want their faces out there because they're afraid of victimization. They're afraid of all the name calling and all that. And I decided, you know what? I will work with you guys. We work together. I can be the face. I have no problem with it. I take criticism pretty well. Like everybody can say what they want. It don't affect me. I know my value to myself, and what you say just reflects who you are and not me. So I don't mingle with that. Like I'm a very positive person. You can tell me something negative, and I can guarantee you I'll think something positive about it. So that is who I am, and that is why I agreed to be the team leader because you need somebody that is strong, somebody that is going to be able to withstand that type of politics in Dominica. And I'm in Dominica for 1 week, and people are already trying to attack me for what? Some people say, oh, they should, Trump should send me out, Trump should do this, Trump should do that. And I'm
Oh,
like, I am trying to help you guys. Like I come here, I was at the markets in yesterday, if you see me selling the books and so forth, trying to,
Right.
bring something in Dominica. And it was the economy is so slow. Like people don't have the monies to buy stuff. And
Mm.
everybody they tell me, oh, maybe next week when we get paid, maybe next week when we get things. The money is not there. The economy, the spending power, people don't have that. And that's why I tell people that's why I'm coming to help. I'm coming to give my ideas. I work with everybody. I don't care who you vote for. That's not my our plan. Our plan is to work to bring Dominica to a different level, a better level in economics, in giving people the independence that they need to
Mhm.
be able to make decisions for themselves and buy things and go places. Some people can never travel. Like I speak to several people, they cannot travel to go anywhere because the little money that they get in, by the time they put it in bills and so forth, there's nothing left. So
Mm.
I decided to be the face because I can take the hard time. Like,
You can take the hard time. Well, tell us a little bit more about you and what life experiences have prepared you for that experience of being the leader of the party. What do you think has prepared you for this experience?
well, I had a lot of. My father died when I was 18. I
Mm.
was just about to go to college and I had to drop out of college. Well, I didn't go because then I had to help my mom and the kids because my father left my mom with five of us and I was the eldest. And then we had the last child was like two. And my mom was home because my dad was the breadwinner. And so I had to go look for a job to help my mom. And I did that until all my siblings were in their 20s. And so I had that responsibility at a very early age. And then I had my kids. I have kids that their dad never take care of them. And I did a great job. My daughter dad never took care of her. I took care of my daughter. My daughter is 24 and she's in the States. She's a nurse. I do what I do for my kids. I do my best with people. I've met a lot of people that I help. I don't like calling names because when I help people, I don't do it for publicity. I help people because I can, and so
Mm-hmm.
I help a lot of people along my lifespan. And if people that know me will tell you, and if they're honest, because you know some people, not everybody that can be honest,
Mm-hmm.
but if they're honest, they will tell you. I work with a lot of people. And everybody I work with, I try to give them a positive encouragement. Let them know you more than that. You can do better than that. And everybody keep telling me, but Petra, you why don't you go into motivation speaking? Like you're always giving somebody some positive vibes. And I was like, you know what? Now the time comes where we're in an era in Dominica where we really need that change. We really need to make a difference in somebody's life. I was like, you know what? I've done it for my family, I've done it for my kids, I've done it for my friends. Let me put myself out there and try to do it for my country. And
Okay.
that's what it is.
All right. Marceline, you got any thoughts or questions?
Well, Petra, I must say you're a very ambitious young lady, and uh, it piqued my interest when I heard that you came in a week ago, and when persons are literally saying to you, they literally said to you that Trump should send you back, but send you back to where? Is it? Are you currently living in Dominica or you live out of Dominica?
No, I currently reside in St. Croix. That's where I've been residing for the last 8 years. Like I tell people, I believe in honesty. Somebody like say, I would not say that. Like I believe in honesty. I don't. For me, if for me and in politics or any other thing that I'm doing, if I give half truth, and then people don't trust you with half truth, when they find out it is not the truth, or you try to make them look, that gray area we like to keep ourselves in. I don't
Mm-hmm.
believe in that. I believe in speaking the truth. So like I tell the people when we were launching the party, I reside in the US Virgin Islands, St. Croix to be exact, and I have been doing trade for Dominica since like 4 years ago. I saw the opportunity to get our farmers produce out to St. Croix, and I've been doing that ever since. And like I tell them as well, last year I injected in the economy almost 300,000 EC dollars. I went to my receipts and all the purchases I bought from Dominica, and that it's just a roundup. It could be more less or than that, but around that it was. So I am doing my part. Like me being out there is not like I go and I say, oh, well, I out there and I trying to think of myself alone. No, I am out there and I'm thinking of my people back home. How can I help my people back home who don't have a way to export their produce? And that's when I decided to judge shipping, and then that's how I've been doing it ever since. And I do have a full-time job as well.
So can you tell us a little bit more about the shipping and the farmers? You mentioned something about trade. You started that 4 years ago, you said?
Yeah,
3 years ago?
yeah, for me,
Yeah.
almost 4 years ago, yes.
Okay.
So
Can you
I
tell us,
started.
can you share a little bit more about that?
Yes, so I started judge shipping where I export, well, I import, because I'm in St. Croix, from Dominica, local
Mm-hmm.
produce, and like dasheen, cucumbers, seasoning peppers, yams, sweet potatoes, pumpkins, um, that's some of the main thing that the supermarket asks for. They do ask for kush and other things, but some of the things, when you do the calculation, the prices is kind of high. So you cannot really resell it to the supermarket because they themselves have to make a profit out of it as well, and it's kind of more expensive because our goods here to purchase are very expensive. Like
Mm.
3 years ago, when I started Frill, almost 4 years ago, I started buying a pound of dashing at 150. Today, currently, a pound of dashing is 250 in Dominica. So you could see the vast increase within the short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And but then the people still want our produce out there. So they compromise with the price a little. Sometimes I have to cut my margin of profit just to bring the stuff out there to keep the market going. Because once you lose the market and somebody else take it, that's it for you. Like, you can
Mm-hmm.
come back and you can change your price every month for the people. You have to be consistent. So that's what I started doing, and then I ship stuff down to Dominica. So people that have families in Dominica that lives in St. Croix, we do that one shipping once a month to Dominica, so where they could send everything down for their families and friends.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's pretty interesting. And that's a very that's a novel and very creative idea to help farmers, but to also, create business, right? Generate money. Yeah, stimulate the economy in Dominica, I suppose, for, on some level. Chris has a question. And are you seeing it on the screen? He says, does the Constitution require that someone in Petra's capacity give up her citizenship to be involved in Dominica's parliament?
Well, when we come to that point, like I say, I know what the sacrifices are, and right
Hmm.
now we are there. I just representing the team leader. We have not taken any nominations on ballots as yet, but that is one of the requirements for you to be nominated during the time of elections. So obviously
Okay.
we know what it entails.
Hmm.
So that is a choice I have made for myself.
Okay.
Petra, I have a question. Are you considering putting yourself forward to be a candidate in any of the given constituencies? Eh,
Yes, that would be Cottage. That's where I reside. So that would be Cottage
Cottage,
constituency.
cottage, cottage, cottage.
so-
And the
so-
cottage
so-
constituency goes from where to where, Petra?
The Cottage constituency is from Lagon to Capuchin, and I'm from Capuchin.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Margaret, are you confirmed? Because this is directly in your constituency, Margaret.
If they don't block, well, let me. I was going to speak in Dominica parlance. I was going to say, si yo pa bloke mwen, pitet mo ke sa konve, ma konet no.
I'm sorry for putting you on the spot, but
Pitet,
but
pitet mo pe ke sa konve.
This is very interesting, Petra, I must say, because currently we, and it's not just about what you have said that makes it interesting, but the fact that we are currently in a very interesting political climate and era in Dominica. We have seen our country being so recklessly mismanaged and pilfered to rock bottom in the manner it has never been over the past, in a manner that it has never
Ever,
been over the past
ever.
6 years. We have seen our lovely Dominica being ripped and sucked dry of its dignity and the respect it carried in the international world. Right
Yeah,
now, Dominica is oozing. She's covered with sores and she's oozing daily of purulent matter, as if someone with leprosy has touched her and infected her, contaminated her to the core. And we would want to say that Dominica is currently pregnant with issues, agonizing under a hard labor that she cannot give birth. One of the things that we have seen is the advent of women coming forward in, to serve, coming forward as candidates, putting their names forward as candidates. And Margaret and Petra, that goes to you too. Although you live in St.
St.
Croix,
Croix.
but
Mm-hmm.
you still see it within your patriotic heart that you want to help, you want to serve Dominica. I don't know, and I am not the one to dispute as to whether it is the best of ideas and what our constitution says with regards to it. But what I am hearing is that you said you will cross the bridge at some point, when it gets to that. We have seen that played out with the same Roosevelt Scarrett when he entered into politics, where he had a citizenship from French islands, and we saw how that played out in Dominica. And somewhat I am hearing that it is the same repetition that I am hearing echoing, where persons are putting themselves, at the front line, irrespective of the fact that they have citizenship from other countries. I don't know if this is the best thing. I am not to say that this is the best thing, but I am hoping that this will, our constitution is going to share some light on what we can and cannot do, the do's and the don'ts, because we saw where that has gotten us. So I don't know if you want to elaborate a little on that, but or Margaret, or maybe you could pick up some things from the audience, but because I'm seeing people are
Petra,
right.
Petra, maybe you have a response while I look at some of the thoughts on the, because it seems to be popping up, eh? And I'm sure you expected that, Petra,
Of
because
course, of
yeah.
course,
So,
of
so
course.
you're seeing what who's Viva Mamo said, phrased it in an interesting way. He said, very interesting. He's just noting that you reside in the USVI. You returned to Dominica a week ago. He says people are saying go back where you came from, but you came home, with the desire to help the people. Um, and yeah, the dual citizenship question, I'm sure will keep coming up. And so, do you want to add anything more on that?
Well, like I said before, I knew that I have dual citizenship.
Hmm.
I knew what it entails, and I knew the sacrifice that is required when nomination is in hand. So
Right,
as of now, I am allowed to keep it because I'm
right,
just giving my messages. I'm telling people what I can offer, and
right.
I'm doing the groundwork, listening to people, listening to their needs, see if I can meet the people needs. Speak
Hmm.
to the people, see if they are accepting my services towards them, and
Hmm.
then I make the final decision for myself whether it is worth it at all to
Hmm.
come back to do what I have to do. Because
Okay. So far,
it's one
keep going, keep going.
because it's one thing I realize. Even if I put myself out there and nobody wants my help, then my sacrifice is in vain.
Okay, kind of like if you create a product and nobody buys it, then that means there's not a market for this, right? There's not a market for
And
this.
and I'm and what bothers me the most about that, I see people, they send things, and I, like I say, I don't really care what people have to say about that because I know who I am, I know the value I can and the impact I can give on people's lives.
Hmm. Hmm.
I have been helping people. I have been helping with scholarships. I have been helping children in school. Last year, I gave books to, I sent books that I bought with my own money to both of the primary school in our constituency for free so that it could be in the school. So if a child cannot afford a pencil, cannot afford a pen or eraser, the
Hmm.
resources would be there so that the parents don't have to feel that extra burden. It was never publicized. It was never done like that because when I did it, it was just I went back and I realized, oh my God, oh people are things are really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went back to St. Croix and I bought the stuff. I sent it down to my sister and I told her, go to the market, sell the things at reasonable price. And then the economy is so bad. I tell her, take some, give it to the schools, to help the parents because it's not everybody that able in that hard economy. Sometimes one income, the income is so small. It's like
Mm-hmm.
$800 a month. You have other stuff to do. So you're trying to see what is priority, what is that, and doing all that. I do that
Right.
all the time. People send and ask me, can you help me to do this? Can you help me to do that? I do it because I just love helping people. But one of the things I tell people, I cannot always be giving. You have to give too.
Hmm.
Like you
It
have to.
sounds as if you've been going back and forth quite a bit between Dominica and St. Croix. What are some of the biggest problems you're seeing? And it sounds as if you're highlighting some of them. What give me maybe one or two of the
the
biggest
biggest
problems you're seeing.
the biggest problem I'm seeing is the dependency on the government. People are very, very dependent and they will go against you. They will go against you if they figure that you're trying to, like they say, take out bread from them. And which is what not, I'm not doing that. I'm trying to tell people you're worth much more than that. You are worth much more than that. You are skilled.
Right?
I left you skilled. I know your skills. I know what you're capable of. You are so much more than what you are getting, and you can get so much more. But you have to be willing. I can fight for you, but if you don't want to fight for yourself, I cannot do anything about it.
How is that working out when you're having these conversations with them?
Well, one on one, people understanding what where I'm coming from. But again, if you have 10 cents and you don't know or sure if the person who's speaking to you can give you that dollar that they say that you can achieve, it's
Mhm.
I understand where they're coming from. But I trying to say like you still need to take a risk. Everything in life is a risk. Are you willing to risk your comfort for a better life? That's what
Mhm.
I'm trying to
And
say.
so far what are you
Most
sensing from
people
the
are not
responses?
willing to give up that comfort. They're in a survival mode and it works for them.
Mm.
And I don't blame them. I mean, after if like anything, scientists have shown that after a while, if you put somebody in an environment, they adapt to the environment
For
because
sure,
that's
for
what
sure.
we are. And so
Even
I
if it's
don't.
uncomfortable. Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't really go out there trying to blame people or why they like that. Try to show them how they can become better people, how they
Mm-hmm.
can own back their lives, how they can become more financial independent, where
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to go and ask somebody for basic needs.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was growing up, asking for things was like so
Was a no
shameful.
no.
Like
Was a no no.
it would take your parents everything to go to the neighbor to ask for a pound of sugar. And if it reached that way, it's because the parent just could not do it. But they
Mm-hmm.
would have done anything, sell ice pop, sell tarts, sell biscuits with crackers in it, just to make sure they get what they have, meet their needs at home. But now it's not that way. It's
Yeah.
not that way now. Everybody wants you to give them something. You come and you say, "Oh, what you bring for me now?" That kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing, and it's okay. I mean, you can speak like that, but then it's become a habit. Like now, it's worse off. And I'm not saying anything bad about people in any bad way to bring down anybody, because, like I say, I understand that people have to adapt to the situation at hand. But it's just me telling people, "Hey, guys, we can do better than that. There are resources. There are people who are willing to help on the other side, and we can do better than that."
Marceline, I saw you laughing a minute ago. Um, if that smile could talk, what did that laugh want to say?
Uh, Miss uh, Petra, you said that you have a it's like import and export business. You import things out of Dominica,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and this comes with like the raw material out of Dominica into the U.S. Virgin Islands, and that is a very good that is a great venture, and I personally wish some of those good coal and dasheen that importing
Nice
you were
blue.
importing from Dominica would get to me here, because me love me some dasheen, some blue
Oh, I
dasheen.
send it to people
Yeah.
all the time.
You send it to
I send
where?
dashings to the states all the time, to the mainland. People put in the order. I use USPS and I ship it over to them. I should ship cocoa sticks, um,
Oh, really?
cinnamon. Yes, I if you say, hey, I need that from Dominica, castor oil, I need this, I get it and I ship it USPS. I use the post office. It have the boxes that any weight, one's price, and I use that for people. I send for it have a few people in Washington, not DC, not the other Washington, close to
Washington
Canada.
State, like
State,
Seattle,
yes.
Washington.
Yes, it have one of my customers. She's there every trip. She say, "What you bring? I need my dashin. I need my yam. Tell me what you have," and I ship for her over there.
So
So
tell me how inexpensive it is to ship it to the mainland.
well, we use the like I said, we use the rates like any weights.
Like
Once
the
it gets
flat
50
rate.
bucks, US, yes, the flat rate. So sometimes the 24.95 price can take up to 10 pounds of dashin. And if you need any other things, I stock it in like the cocoa sticks. People usually send for the lighter stuff, so they tell me send 2 dashin for me, but don't send my cocoa sticks. I send board and leaf. I send soursop leaf. I I ship anything to them over there to
So
make
so
them
how so
enjoy.
how do you do it? Do you do it with the skin on, or do you peel it and shrink wrap it
No, I leave it with the
and
skin
send it
on.
out? Or
I
you
leave it
send it
with
with
the
the
skin
skin
on.
on?
Yes, yes. I
Okay.
last time I sent BB rum for one of my customers out there in Texas that wanted his BB rum and he couldn't come to Dominica and he asked for his BB rum. I get his BB rum for him and I send it for him. So I try to serve everybody, anybody that want our little Dominican. I try to find a way to send it for them to enjoy our little things in Dominica.
So what you're sharing is a way that farmers, right? So Dominicans can become creative with the produce that we
Exactly.
grow and that we make. And you've given a very good example of how you've successfully done that. Now, a question that's coming up is some people are criticizing that Team Unity, Dominica, is another small party. Marceline said UPP. UPP is another small party too that could divide the opposition vote. Are you? Would you say your Team Unity is building a serious movement, or some people? What would you say to some people that you're just adding another name to the ballot?
No, we are not adding another name to the ballot. So the team, well, we the team, the people that are with me and the executive and others, we have a common goal, and the
Hmm.
only goal is to help the people in Dominica. And yes, there are other parties, and as we said earlier on, we are willing to work with everybody. And one thing that we elaborate on, we are trying our best not to have too many people represent in one constituency as much. So even if we have our representative and you have your representative, we should be able to come together and evaluate which of the representative would give the incumbent party a run for the money, like we say it in Dominica. So it's not about me. If I, Petra Carbon, somebody else step out and this person have everything that I want to give and more, I have no problem with adding my resources to that person, because at the end of the day it's not about me. It's about giving people a proper representation where everybody can benefit. And if the person have a better chance of being there, they have my 100% support. I am not in it for me. I am in it for the people. So as long as we have the same vision for the people, if you're more advanced, let's say for the pros, and I have more con, I work with you. It's nothing about not giving up. There's nothing about it that, oh, she is leader of the community now, will she give up? I am just the face of the people who want change for Dominica. That's it. And if the other people want the same change, we will work together, because that is our job, to work together to make a better life for our people of Dominica. It's not about me saying I want that leadership position or you saying you want that leadership position. That is what is killing us now. We have to move away from that and let the people who can bring the people a better life represent and work with the people, bring the ideas and you work with them.
Okay,
But
that's very interesting. Go ahead, Marceline.
I have a question because I was just gathering my thoughts and coming to that question. Uh, Based on what Petra is saying, she is in the agro industry. She's
Mm-hmm.
bringing in produce out of Dominica. Have you thought of ways as to how to expand that business among the Dominican people out there, as to give them more opportunities? Because we all contribute civic wise, and this is a way of helping our country, helping our people, because everybody's making money. I want to assume everybody's making money. The farmers who produce, who plant the produce, the farmers who sell the produce to you, you
Mm-hmm.
buy from them, you take it into, so they're making money. But my question is, does one have to be part of politics in order for them to contribute? Because you can contribute without being, in politics, or probably I would say, uh, does one have to form a political party in order to give back to their country? Why not just we coalesce together, bring our thoughts, bring our ideas together, instead of having all the separate parties? We have UPP, we have Third, we have we have the WP, we have the Labour Party. So you're talking about four political parties right there. And, and that's why I said that it is a very interesting era that, that Dominica, is in right now. We have the emergence of two additional parties. And well, I'm not really counting the Freedom Party, because the Freedom Party, we're not seeing much traction or movement with the Freedom Party. But we have, Third that came out lately, and then in addition to the UPP. And as some Dominicans are saying, is that we have one goal, and the common goal is to remove the big stone that is in the road. And what they're saying, if we are so fragmented between several parties, that is actually pulling opposition votes, and not much votes from Labour. We have seen, like, other parties contending against the main opposition party, whereas they're not really contending. It doesn't appear that they're contending against the party, the Labour Party. And if we diminish the opposition, all opposition, we get a little bit of fraction here, fraction there, then it's going to put the Labour Party in a stronger position. And I may be wrong, but that is my assessment of it. That is how I see it. And yes, we have women who have risen to the occasion, because, as I said, is in Dominica is in an organized labor, hard labor, where she cannot give birth. So we welcome the women who have come on board, put their hats in the ring. They are like the midwives. The midwives have come
To
to
heal the
deliver
nation,
Dominica,
to heal and to push us
to, to,
forward
del-
with this.
to
We've
deliver
been in a
Dominica.
groaning, birthing process for a
Yes, into the
long
birthing
time.
process.
Yeah, to move
But
through. Yeah.
doing it under all the fragments of different parties, I'm wondering if that is the best thing. I mean, I'm not a political strategist, and I'm not speaking from the position of a political person, but from an ordinary person, a lay person, with just my views, with just my observations, and my ideas.
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay, so
so
what do you think,
she gave a
Petra?
she gave a lot of well, she wanted a lot of answers, but I'm going to do with what I can. So
Yeah, yeah.
all right. So she said that she wanted to know, well, that's her views and how she see things, like the different parties will cause the division in votes, and what other things that I do to expand or to help, other than being in a political party, that group or whatever that I could do. And
Hmm.
so I'm going to just answer this. So my thing is, for me, one-on-one makes two, and every day you use that same one-on-one, you get two. But if you want to change that two into a three, you must add change one of the ones to a two to the equation.
Mm-hmm.
We have both the opposition and the incumbent there for a lot of years. And though I don't know their constitution or what they believe in and what they don't believe in, the action on the ground is what caused us as a people to come together and say, hey, we need to go in there and do something different because we are getting the same results every year. Whether because for my thing is if things are changing for the opposition, there should have been more seats of the opposition coming in than leaving. Sure. So that means something is not working with them that needs to change to capture the votes of the people.
Most,
Is
let me
it,
ask the question. Let me just interject 1 minute. Can you please expound on more seats of the opposition coming in than
okay?
leaving? Because I
Yes.
don't
So,
think.
for example, the opposition have been there for the same length of time the incumbent have been there, true or false?
True. I
True.
Now,
actually, I actually have, I actually, this insight that you have, I have a similar insight. Keep going because I
true.
hear what you're saying. Go ahead.
The incumbents have been there. We had, I think, three election cycles during that time, or four. Not too sure. Don't want to leave one out.
Right.
And every election cycle, as an opposition leader or as an opposing party, if you are meeting the needs of the people, we should see some balance going on the
Some
other side.
gains. Some gains.
That's what we should see. So let's say we started out with the two seats.
Right.
After four election cycles, we should at least add 2 to 3 seats more as on our side based on our policies and how we are reaching out to the people. It
Okay.
would show that the opposition is doing something to bring people to understand where they want to go.
Mm.
So for me, that's how we came out with saying, hey guys, that was the idea. We're not seeing no growth per se in the opposition. So we think we need to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
We need to try something different because doing the same thing over and over will always give you the same result. That's how TUD came from 2022. So TUD have been there from 2022. I just joined in, you see my face now, but I've been with them since 2023 on the back end, doing research, seeing what are some of the things that we could change, listening to the opposition, seeing where errors are being made, and bringing it to the drawing board and say, hey, that don't work. We cannot use that strategy. We think that strategy would do better. So we've been on the outside doing the work. So that is the reason how I came involved in TUD. When they reached out to me, their vision and mine align. Nobody from the opposition side have reached out to me so that I can compare my vision and theirs. So I cannot say that I cannot work with them because I don't know anything about the vision or the plans or the constitutions of the party. If it align with my needs, I
Mm-hmm.
cannot make that assumption. But I can say I am willing to meet with them to put things on the table. And if after all the assessments, they are the one that can push Dominica to the next level, I am willing to work with them to
Okay. I
accomplish
hear
that.
that. I hear that. Thank you for that. So, okay. So say what I was feeling from what I'm feeling from what you're saying is the opposition, well, this party, right? This party, at least up till the last election, they were running against the Labour Party. And the same length of time that the Labour Party's been in, that opposition party has been in as well. But they were not winning. You're saying they were not gaining, right? In fact, they seemed like they were losing because they ended up losing um, seats in the House. Um, so you were saying that you all added a new variable into the equation, hoping for a different, like to shake things up. Uh, right? What's different is that that party, United Workers Party, they also changed some variables.
Very good.
Yes. Yes. So they changed their leader and they've changed several candidates. So it seems, so that's a, but you are very much on point because what you're saying is team unity came in before these variables were changed.
That's right.
Yes or no? Is
Yes, we came
that what
in.
I'm hearing?
Remember,
Yes,
yes,
yes, yes.
remember the UWP did not contest the last election,
2022.
and
Right,
Team Unity was just formed just
right.
before election. They wasn't aware election was going to call. They just wanted to do something different because they see that the same thing had been happening over and over, and because Team Unity decided they know they couldn't win against the incumbent people that were there at the time, but
Mm-hmm,
they still refused to have it one party state where nobody was contesting everywhere.
mm-hmm,
And they
mm-hmm,
put out some people just to have that still democracy going on.
mm-hmm,
Because had Team Unity not been there, let's say Team Unity was not part of the equation,
mm-hmm.
then Dominica would have been a one party state.
Except
Because
for the independent candidates
that
who did
went up
contest.
to the
Yeah.
two same locations where UWP have their stronghold. The independent candidate went up for them.
Mhm. So
So
Ferdinand is asking my question, which my next question was going to be then, and you kind of answered some of it earlier because you said that Team Unity is willing to work and collaborate.
that's right.
Yeah. So Ferdinand is asking, UWP now has, so they introduced their set of new variables to make that, if we want three, we gotta add something new to this
Exactly.
experiment, because this experiment, and I think people have to admit that. That's a to me personally, that's an admission that needs to be acknowledged. That UWP was there as long as the Labour Party was in office, but they were not winning. Yeah,
Can I?
but they did make an adjustment. And Ferdinand is asking, now that there's new leadership, there's a new team, which is something different, how does that change Team Unity's approach and mindset?
Well, Team Unity, like I said, we are willing and we are in the process of speaking to the opposition party to see where we can fit in as a people, not as a party, as a people, to best represent our people in Dominica. So we
Hmm.
are willing and able. We are in the process. We speak to people of the opposition saying, hey, now that you know who is there, now that you see who is there, now that we have seen that you make a change, how can we both benefit, but by coming together to help the problem and solve some of the problem that the people in Dominica are facing.
Margaret,
Hmm.
I'd like to jump in here.
Yes.
Um, um, Petra, you said that UWP, the opposition, has been in existence as long as the incumbent has been in office. That is true. But where I beg to differ, it's not where they did not impress upon the people, because we knew, you likewise, myself and Margaret knows that the process, it's not a normal process where there is fairness and a fair playing field where voting is concerned in Dominica. We know that there has been massive or major voter fraud and the stealing of the elections in Dominica cycle after cycle. And the reason electoral reform had been spoken of in ad nauseum, which the government rejected. They did not want to give um, electoral reform. Uh, there was a year, I think it was it in 2019, right before the 2019 elections? We formed a delegation, we formed a small group, about 15 of us, and we went into Washington, D.C. to a meeting where Francine Barron and what's his name? Vince Henderson were. They were discussing about uh, electoral reform. And we went to that meeting where Francine Barron said that the system in Dominica had worked for several decades, where our voting process is concerned, and that Dominica did not need electoral reform. And that was in 2019,
Mm,
right before the 2019
mhm,
election. So we know that the voters list is a serious problem because there are more people on the list than the entire population of Dominica. So to
mm,
go into an election with an over bloated list,
mhm.
where we know that the it is it is not going to generate a fair result or democratic result, it is already disadvantaging the opposition.
Whomever is in opposition
Yeah,
is
the
a
opposition, no
friend.
matter what.
Whomever,
So
yeah.
when you state that had it not been for third, then Dominica would have been a one-party state. I don't I don't get the understanding of that. I don't see the clarity of that, because third had never contested did third contest an election? Did they win a seat and was in opposition? How did they not contribute how did they contribute in any given way uh, in terms of the representation in Dominica? When the opposition decided not to contest the elections, there were independent candidates, and the two independent candidates are in the House as we speak, which they came from the constituencies of Salisbury and Marigot.
Hmm.
Todd did not have any representative. Todd never had a representative that won a candidate that won an election, a candidate who won an election anywhere, none of the constituencies. So how did they avert Dominica being a one-party state? I don't get the clarity on that. If you can expound on that, I would sit back and listen.
So okay, so you made a great point, and I'm not going to argue your point on you. I'm just going to show you. So if you are in the house
Mhm.
and you have two seats in the house, and yes, you want reform, but it's not happening, would you give up your two seats where you could fight for Dominicans in the house and go and sit in the yard and then say it's not being done? I'm just asking, as a party. So that's my view on when I said about um the United Workers Party not taking part in the election would make it just win all over. But we understand that the same two constituency that had the UWP had the same two constituency that they gave up, an independent person went up for, true or false. But
Yes,
UWP,
yes, but it was not. They were not under the representation of TAD. They were under representation of two
of
independent
independence.
candidates.
That's what I'm
So,
saying. But
yeah.
remember, that was the constituency where the United Workers Party had in the House and would have retained to stay fighting for the people had they contested the election, whether it had the reform or not. So, right.
Agreed. But
So, so
those two constituencies are still there, and they are still represented in the House, even if they are not represented by UWP legally, but they are still in the House represented under two independent candidates who are not candidates of TOD.
yes, we knew that. Like I said, we knew that nobody was going to win. We were not prepared. It was 1 month when the party was formed and then election was called. So there was no time for preparation. There was no time to do anything. But Todd decided that they are going to put up a few candidates who are willing to go up to on the ballot. So tomorrow, if you go in certain constituency, you could see that they will win the constituency. There was somebody else willing to challenge it. So that is the aspect in which I was speaking. Like, it's not like all the
Oh,
constituency were just the 19 other constituency were just given to the Labour Party. Some persons so decided, hey, let us put a few people there.
so
So on the ballot,
you
we
are
could see.
speaking you are speaking from the position that they challenged the elections. They did not.
Yes, ma'am. So
Oh,
That's how I'm
where
hearing it.
that's where
thank
I'm
you,
coming
thank you,
from.
thank you for that.
Yes.
That's where I'm
That's
coming from.
that's a good
So that it
that's
would
good
not have
clarification.
19 constituency that was handed over.
Yeah.
It would so that some people challenge that 19. So even if you lose on the record, it has other constituency where representative was, but they won, but there were challenges, in spite of all of them just being unchallenged and just
Right.
given away. So that is what where I was coming from, because
Okay,
nobody
good.
in Todd did not win. And we know nobody, we knew that we could not win. It was a new party of 1 month. Nobody knew about
Right.
us. And so that was not the expectation. The expectation was not giving the incumbent the 19 seats handed to them. Let us
Mhm.
put somebody there to challenge you. Let them say, hey, we can come to challenge you, even if we know we're going to lose, but we can still be there to challenge you. So history will show
Challenges.
people come in to challenge you, and we did not just get it, even if you win and the people voted for you.
Well, I thank you very much for that explanation.
Yeah,
Yes. So
good
in that
answer.
So
regard,
we
I
are,
was
so we are clear on that.
yes, ma'am. In that
Thank you.
regard, I was speaking.
Yes,
So,
thank you.
like I said, I they reach out to me because I was the reason why Todd reached out to me is because I was always on social media speaking about the trade,
Hmm.
facilitating trade. I was on with Miss Margaret. I was with what's his name? I forgot last week. He was on his program as well.
Drago,
Yes.
Tony.
Mr. Drago, yes. I just be with Mr. Banis on his agriculture program. And so when everybody, I was with Lofty on his program. I was with also Civic Vibes. So
Mm-hmm.
when they saw me always appearing speaking about agriculture and trade, they reach out to me and they say, hey, we hear you, we see your passion, we see what you're trying to do. Would you like to join us? And I say, okay, let me hear where you stand. Let me see your policies. Let me see how you're going to help the people, or what you're willing to do to help the people of Dominica. And I agree to work with them because their vision and mine align. Nobody else in the other political in UWP did not reach out to me at no time during my programs,
Question. I got a question. If UWP had reached out, would you have said yes to UWP?
because of course I would have said yes, because my purpose is to help. So had they reached out to me with me being on the programs talking about how we can boost agriculture in the other nation, and I'm willing to work with the farmers to extend the markets, and so had they reached out to me before Todd and our vision had aligned for the people of Dominica, I would have worked with them, because it's not about me. It was
Question.
always about
Another question. Another question, and this is me just kind of pulling apart things. Um, do you think that's an opening that UWP has missed or is missing? Or
well, I would say I am a valuable person, and
Mhm.
any party who has me, whether they the people, other people don't see my value in TUD, I think I bring a lot of value to TUD. I think I bring a lot of value to the Dominica on a whole. I think
Mhm.
when I go out and I represent Dominica, I I represent Dominica wherever I go. And so I believe that if United Workers Party had come to me earlier and say, hey guys, I see you working for Dominica. I see you trying to have, and this is our vision as well. We are trying to work in the agricultural sector, trying to expand, trying to get Dominicans, to increase their spending power. I would have worked with them, because it's me, it's not about workers, it's not about UPP, it's not about TUD. It's about the vision to get Dominicans to an independent state where Dominicans have the spending power to, so that they can make decisions on their own without having to think, if I talk to that person, will I lose my job? If I talk to that
Mhm.
person, will my father be persecuted? You
I
understand
think
what I'm
it's
saying?
also, I do 100%. I think it's also worth us remembering 2022 and the reality of 2022 and the reality of UWP in 2022. UWP in 2022, like you said, did not contest the election. The party was in a, what you would call, in a nice way, in a reorganization phase. Yes? Yes or no? In 2022, the party was in a state of reorganization. So I mean, it would be challenging to think they might have reached out. I hear your reasoning.
Like I said, I am not part of the entity, the party,
Hmm.
so I don't know what was happening on the back end of it. I can
Hmm.
only speak of what I see on the results part of it. So
Mm-hmm.
for me to make that judgment saying I know why they did not do it or why, I cannot say. All I can tell you is that we did not see them contest the 22 election. For
Mm-hmm.
whatever reason they did not. We know most of the talk was by them speaking, it was they say no reform, no elections. So I
Mm-hmm.
would take the assumption that that is the reason why they did not participate in the election, because there was no reform.
I have a question, Miss Carbon.
Yes, dear.
Electoral reform is a very important issue right now. And we are in the process of registration and confirmation. And I am glad that you brought it up that that was the reason the main opposition did not contest the elections. What are the reasons? Or I know you joined Todd late, but can you or do you see reasons why Todd themselves have never joined the discussion about electoral reform feverishly, like the other organizations and the UWP and the other parties have elaborated for electoral reform? And another question to you is, you said that Todd is not running as a political party. They're not going to run as a party. And I hope I heard you correctly. I hope I'm not the one insinuating or probably taking what you said out of context. But to me, that's what you said, that Todd will not be contesting the elections as a party, but you are there as a people to represent the party, represent in any given form. So if the party or if any of the opposition or the main opposition wants to see that you are the valuable candidate in the cottage constituency, then you're available for discussion with them. Is that what I am really hearing from you?
So yes, what I said is that we as a party, like we Team Unity, we are a political party. We are willing to work with others because I know we are in the place where we don't want to divide the votes because it will kill the purpose of what we're trying to achieve.
Okay. Hmm.
So we have the candidates that we are already prepped and do the work. What I have not spoken to anybody from the opposition, so I cannot be speaking on their end. I am
Hmm.
saying that if we meet with them and then we assess the candidates, and the better candidate is for, let's say, for cottage constituency, we
Hmm.
meet with workers and they say, hey, well, we have that person already, and we were going to launch them, but then you came and you say you are willing to represent and what and what and what. But let's put the people, let's do the pros and the cons of the situation. And at the end of the day, the person that they had or was working with has more pros than I. Am I going to, because of my ego and my I'm saying, oh well, I was his third and we were there first, so I'm not going to give that person the ability to get that seat because I am more in concern with Todd? No, that's what I'm saying. If the Because it's not about having Todd in the political spectrum, it's having another representative that is not of the Labour Party.
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying, Miss Petra.
So we had to be a political party. We cannot be a non-political party to do political stuff. Because if we was a normal organization, like if we was for, let's say, a not-for-profit organization,
An NGO. Mm-hmm.
then
But
we
you
I
were
would not be able to come here and speak politics and tell you some of the ideas or what I think we could do as a people. Maybe I could, I'm not sure, but I'm just saying, as a political party, we attract more political things and more political discussions. And then we did meet with, you said that we have not met with the electoral reform people, and so we, in the background, we meet with people of that status to explain what we think that is necessary and what the changes would be like and what the people are looking for. But at the end of the day, did we go out in the streets and take platforms? No, we did not. But we were speaking about it on social media. We, if you go back to our Facebook page, you could see several Facebook um things, we meetings that we had, speaking to the people, of telling the people that we need electoral reform. It is the better and more fair way for the people of Dominica to vote, that everybody have the equal opportunity, and that not one person is have the advantage and the others don't have, like what we are seeing right now. So we did have that. We did bring it out to the public. We did let the public be aware that we are in agreement with electoral reform, and we want it as much as they want it. So
So,
we did these things.
so are you saying that you all brought it out independently but not jointly? Because I know there were
Yes,
several forums organized just
we
to
were in
speak
part of the
about the
program
issue
too.
of electoral reform. But to
Yes, we
me,
were
I
in
can't.
several of them as well. We
Oh,
were in
you
several of the meetings
okay?
as well. Yes, ma'am.
And,
So
and
we were in
if you
several of the meeting as well.
and if you're saying that Todd is not ready to contest the elections, but to work with the opposition,
She's saying that they're willing to work with the opposition.
are willing to work, but not
Yeah,
to
we are.
contest as a party, and that is what she's saying.
Yes, that's what I'm
So,
saying. We are a party. We have put out some candidates out already. We have a few other people, but because
Tell
of
us more about those candidates because we've been on this point for a little while. I
yeah.
want to hear a little
yes.
more. Tell us
So
some of these
we
other
have this
candidates.
young lady from the Benz Calibishi area, and we have
Christine
another young
MP.
lady. Yes, and we have another young lady from
I
the.
taught Christine, by the way, y'all.
Oh,
My
really?
student. Yeah.
And then we have Miss Austri in Cassibrus area, and we have your nephew Mr. Carlos who share his involvement of being part of the Mao constituency and would rather represent people in the Mao constituency. So
Mm.
these are the four that we came out with that were willing as of now to have their faces out there. We do have, however, some other persons that we were working with, and but they are not ready to come out. So we do have other people that we are working with, but because of how the atmosphere in Dominica is on the political spectrum, they would rather be coming out closer to when election time is given. But they are still doing their groundwork. They are still meeting people. They are still speaking to people. They are still trying to figure out their constituency, what the constituency is looking for, and doing all the groundwork. So even if they are
Marshall's got a great question here. Marceline, do you see it?
Yes.
well,
Yeah. Marshall is asking what
what
happens if
happens
Ted
if
is
Todd
asked to
has to
work
work
with
with.
the DLP?
Well, you see, I would not be. I would tell you that we are not going to work with the DLP because that is not the vision. Because if
Why not? Why
no,
not?
because I do not, my values does not align with some of the values that I've seen displayed
For
by the
example,
DLP.
for
For
example.
example, for example, I have seen the persecution of people willing to speak and say things are not right and they want better, and then the victimization, that's not part of me. I don't believe anybody should be victimized because they speak what is happening to them, or sharing interests of saying, hey, I do not like what is happening to me, I want better conditions, I want better work. Is like being in a job and you cannot say you want better working conditions.
Mm.
So that does not align with my value. My values are, even if a person vote for you, they have a right to let you know when you are doing right and when you are doing wrong. And when somebody tell you what you did was wrong, you cannot persecute them and say, oh, well, you're not for me. That does not align with my values.
Well, that is undemocratic. This kind of persecution is not democratic.
No,
So
it's not, because it was never like that before. I remember I wasn't a big politician in the time of freedom, but I remember the culture during that time, and maybe it was there, but I was a younger child, so probably I didn't pick up on it. So somebody that are older than me will have to elaborate on that. I was more in tune during the UWP time, and I did not see that culture either. So that is a culture that came in after, where people cannot speak of their, if they are displeased. You are not allowed to speak if you are displeased, and that is why I won't work with them. I don't have no personal thing with anybody. Like somebody say, oh, so you going up cottage constituency, what problem you have with the parrot? Oh, well, I can have problem with the parrot. I love my parrot, his family.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot. How would I have a problem with my parrot, his
but
family?
who is a partner for the cottage constituency?
Mr. Roland.
Mr. Roland Roy, I taught him too.
that he's family. I could not have a problem with him.
I thought him
I
too.
He went to PSS a few years before me. He's a gentleman that he's a very loving and kind person. He's a
Sweet.
person that
He's a good
were with
guy.
the young people playing domino all the time in his mother's shop. He's a person approachable. I don't have a problem with him. It's
You
not
don't.
about
What you're
his
saying is you disagree with the policies of his
policies of the
party. Yes.
party.
But
Yes.
And
I
that is
have a
what we want to
question.
change.
But do you
Yes.
think he has delivered for the constituency?
Well, based on what I am hearing, the people are saying on the ground is that he has done more in a short space of time than the previous representative that was there for the longest space of
So
time.
are you satisfied with his performance in the cottage constituency?
Well, what I can say is more could have been done on the time of skills development. I don't know if he had anything in place because, as I say, I'm not part of his body where they put things in place. Um, but for more skills, I think fishing, which is we are a fishing community, I was looking for something more, advanced, like fishing of fixing of the fisheries in Capuchin area, opening and putting a washroom facility there for the farmers, a place where they can clean their fish. These are the things that I was looking for. So I don't know if he had it in the pipeline, but I have not seen it manifested, is what I can say.
But how has the economy grown in your constituency since the emergence of that new pal rep?
Well, the people that I spoke to, well, I didn't give it, I have not spoken to most of the people in the constituencies, mostly in my area and the Clifton area. I speak to two or three persons on that type of development. And they are still thinking that more can be done to help the young people to become entrepreneurs. So we have not seen that part where people are becoming more entrepreneurs and having the choice of being independent.
So, question. So, what would make you a better representative for Cottage constituency than Mr. Royer?
So for me, my thing is to help people to increase their spending power. And some of the ways I would have gone about it is make sure that most go out and have that financial money management courses with the people. Help people to evaluate their skills and show them ways that they can scale their skills to become entrepreneurs. Develop the fisheries, like I say, the fishing community that we
Industry.
used to have. Develop the fisheries building here. Bring it back to the level how it used to be before, where fishes men can come in with their fish and have a place to store their fish. So if they don't have to go all over the place in the nights to sell because there's no facility to store their fish for the next day. Building the washroom facilities, enhancing the place, like putting picnic tables and so in the little area so people can come in to enjoy bathing in the area, cleaning up the areas, moving some of the stones, make it more pleasant for having a bath there, type of things. Trying to get funding to redo the WAF because our WAF have been damaged for a long time. So these are some of the projects I would willing to see. And I know Tukari is a very fishing community too, and there are a lot of businesses, as you can see, they have the activity there today. We have a lot of bars. They're trying to find ways to increase tourism on the north of Dominica. Most of the times when the tourists come, they go to the Roseau area because the boats are in the Roseau area. Finding ways how we can bring some of the vessels, the tourist ships to Cabrit, how it used to be, so that some of the monies can also spread in the north. People can show their arts and craft, people can benefit from it, and so on from the tourism sector in Dominica. Promote we have that nice space in Capuchin we call Cana,
I know.
which is a nice area. Like promote it a little bit more. These are some of the things that I would be working with to bring in income to the communities itself and to help the people in the community to make their own monies. And another thing that I realize is the NEP, a lot of people in my area are now under the NEP. I have no problem with the NEP. I just believe that it could be used in a different way. It should be used as a form of training people to get skills like before you go to the job, they tell you, do you have any experience, working experience? I would have used this to help my people in a way to give them working experience for a short space of time. It's not something lifeline, a long time. So you have a year, we put you in a business, so we train you, bring back the adult education in my area, where people who are NEP in the going through the NEP who do not have subjects per se, one of the requirements would have been that they go back using the adult education. So that have to be a must. So if you want to enroll in the NEP, you also have to be able to learn to read and write, to do basic maths, to enhance yourself. So when you leave, you could have that working experience, but you also have that education to back up what you have. So
Kind of
these are
like an apprenticeship program.
these are some of the things that I would have done. Bring back the electrical training that we used to have on the adult education in Capuchin, the plumbing, because these are some of the basic things people need in their daily lives. Like people use these skills on a daily basis. So that is how I would empower my people in the area. And as you said that, I was also in the village council before I go. I spent a year in the village council before I go. And if the people are honest in my community, they will tell you that the year that I was there, we did a lot. I was in my time while I was there, we were able to have the resource center in Capuchin tile, and in the tiling process, we also had the people learning. So what we did, instead of just paying somebody to tile the resource center, we put it into a program where the person that was putting the tile would train people of our community how to do tiling. So we had that whole course through the council. So the council in itself too can meet some of those needs. So it's just a matter of having the right representation. Not that I'm saying I'm better than anybody, but I have ways I think that can benefit all people more. And I
Well,
am
I have a question. How would you convince someone? Because you say you love All Pal Rep. I love All Pal Rep. Um, do you think he made a mistake by being a part
no,
of this
I would not say
organization?
that. I think when I would not say he made a mistake. If you speak to him, you'll realize he himself have a passion to help people.
Mhm.
If you speak to him, you would realize himself have a passion to help people. But like
Mhm.
I tell people, sometimes you in the organization which does not give you that leeway to do that, because the kind of policies they have in place does not allow you to go out there and do that type of
So are you saying that because he's been in that organization, his
he
talents
could be limited into
have
what he
been
wants
limited?
to do, because that's not the culture, if you understand what I'm saying.
I do.
Well,
Yeah.
when Margaret said asked her whether he made a mistake, I think she was alluding to his alignment with the Labour Party and not, in him wanting, being in the political sphere and wanting to help people.
Well, to tell you the honest truth, I will not be the person to say that he made a mistake, because, like I said, I am not sure what was presented to him. But when you come to people, you tell them what you know, what is present. I cannot say that because I was not there when they present whatever they present to him. So
Mhm.
probably what he was given or what he was told, it's worked with his vision at the time. But when he gets in there, the vision just cannot manifest
It's not
because
meshed
of
with
the
the people.
culture.
I
Mhm.
have a question. Uh, I don't want to be, a bias or being that feminist, but I always look out for women, and I like to see things that are done where women can aspire, they can reach their potential and everything else. Um, what vision do you have for the women in your community?
Or in the
Oh well,
country, because you are the leader
Yeah,
of the
and the
party.
country.
Yeah.
well, this I have well, what I think that could help women to be more marketable, help women in the terms of, like I say, financial management is one of the top things on my list, because especially for women, since women are most of the time having the household, running the household in single household. So this would be one of my main focus, to get our women to be able to manage their mornings properly and help them with their skills, ways that they can become, in America we call it side hustle, after you have your 8 to 4 job or whatever, ways that they can use their skills to make money after having their the 8 to 4, the 8 to 5 job, or whatever the hours are. So that is what, so some of the ways. And agriculture, reintroducing women in agriculture. I love agriculture. Sorry about that, but you'll hear me
Mhm.
speaking about that all the time. I think women do great in agriculture, especially short term crop like lettuce and cucumbers and tomatoes. Having women go to agriculture where we have greenhouses that not so far away in the
Right.
heights, but closer to the village. They can have 2 or 3 greenhouses nearby where they can still take care of their kids, but still get time to do their short crops to bring that, inject that extra money that they would need to run their household.
Mhm.
Train women to be electricians as well. Train
Yeah.
women because they are home every day. If something happened, that they can manage on themselves to do some things, even though they don't know the experts at it, but they have an idea what they're doing. Teaching women about sewing, bringing back sewing into the household. Well,
So
these are the
skills.
jobs that keep you at home to make money, but still take care of your children, so your children are not left vulnerable where people can
Mhm.
abuse them and take advantage of them because you have to leave so far to go to work and you entrust them to family and friends. So although it will still have women who prefer to go the other route, but most of the women are stay home women, and these are some of the ways I think that I would be able to help them to become more independent and to bring that income that they need and still take care of their family and have a better community. Like I tell everybody, we are the women who shape our community. We are given the task to bring
Mhm.
out good men and good women. But when
Yes.
we are tasked with, when we are stretched so thin, some
Mhm.
of our roles fall
Mhm.
in the cracks. And then we have a community of children that do not get what they were supposed to get. So to build that, to bridge that gap, these are some of the things I would bring to have women have, like I say, to have women still in the community doing what they're doing, but still yet be able to take care of their children and take care of the community at home at large. And that's not for just the women of Dominica, but also the women, not for the women of Cottage constituency, but also for the women in Dominica. I remember when Salisbury women used to go to their garden and plant that tomato and plant that cucumber, and we on the north used to go buy the tomatoes and cucumbers from the source people and come to the market in Portsmouth because our soil was not fertile to grow it, but we had people, women that we support on the other end that we could get it from and then come to Portsmouth to make our own dollar and to sustain ourselves. So I think some of the things have been lost in transition for some of the time. The culture have changed. We need to bring back these things because it will help women. One, it will help our community, and then it will help our country. It's simple things, nothing that take excess monies, but things that we can do on a short term that can just re-inject that spending power. And I learned one thing: when people have spending power, they tend to think differently because
For
they are
sure.
independent thinkers. They don't
For
have
sure.
to rely on anybody. They can make more informed decisions. And that's where I want to get our women to make more informed decisions.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, so we got a couple. We've got about 30 minutes left. I want us to talk about a few big issue questions like CBI and visa access. But before I do that, we've got a comment here that says, I duly think TUD is a disturbance. Truthfully, my assessment, I think you would be a wonderful leader for your community. However, for the entire country, we need more sophistication, vision, in tune to lead the people at this juncture in time. What is your take on that comment?
Well, like the person who said the comments, he said that is his vision, his assessment. I
Hmm.
cannot say I cannot tell him he should not have that assessment.
Hmm.
I know my value, and I know how I can empower people. I know how I can come in and help somebody get to where they want to be,
Hmm.
working one on one with people. I have worked one on one with people all the time. Even in St. Croix, when people come to ship with me and I speak to them one on one, and I listen to their jobs, I listen to what they want to become in life, and I share with them ways that I think they could improve their lives.
All
and
right.
and so for me, I think I am valuable enough. I'm not sure what more that what more that he is looking for.
The
In
sophistication of what he's looking for.
I'm not sure what more he's looking for. I do have a degree like everybody else, but I don't go
But
about
tell
it.
us more about that. Somebody was
I don't
asking
go
your background.
So I do have a degree in accounting. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I have a bachelor's degree in
Mm-hmm.
accounting. That's what I went to school and study for. I
Mm-hmm.
understand finance pretty well. I can read a balance sheet. I can read um this type of documents. I know economy too because that was part of it. So I did a little economy on the side. I know when a country is at the peak in economy, and I know when it's at its staggering and trying to move but cannot move and stop still. That's why I feel to myself that I can contribute because I know these things.
So where do you
I,
see the country now?
I think the country is in a really we are sloping down slowly to the bottom, and I will tell you why. And I know most people don't will give me that backlash, but like I say, that's just their opinion. For example, when we tell somebody that if not CBI, then what? That is a problem right there. There is one thing I learned in accounts and in economy is that you cannot change, you cannot make somebody buy your product. You could have the best product, but you cannot make somebody buy your product. The passport in itself is if somebody see the value in getting it to go somewhere else. It was never about getting it to come to Dominica. It was about getting it to go somewhere else. So your passport is as valuable as it can help somebody go somewhere where they're forbidden to go. And
Mm-hmm.
now the locks are coming down and clipping down on it. So that means the passport is getting less valuable because people are clamping down on the entry to the countries, to the places. They're saying, well, now you require more. So people not what happens when that passport become non-valuable? Where do we stand? Is the economy going to run? We see the news where the European Union is saying it should be over by 2028. So if it is over, where are we going to get that 60% of CBI fund to run the economy in Dominica? So that would he tell you that you need another source of income, you need another revenue. So you have what was our once good revenue? It goes back to agriculture because one thing I learned in life that people must eat. As long as it have people, people must eat. So we should be looking ways to enhance our agriculture sector and come having trade between ourselves in the CARICOM. Those that don't have that, let us export with them. Those that don't have water, let us export our water, which is our gold. Let us ensure we should not be importing no water in Dominica from other countries. Sorry to say that.
Mm-hmm.
I love other
I'm with
countries,
you on
but I
that.
must say that for a land with 365 rivers, with good water, we should not be importing no water other than Dominica water and exporting a lot. So we have to, as a people, ask ourselves, if CBI failed today, where are we? How do we stand? Is the economy going to crash? So before that happens, things should be put in place that should CBI cease, we have
So
something
what
to
is
fall.
what is your plan as the leader of the party should CBI crash and burn?
Like I just said, we have to go back to the agriculture. We need to know, figure out which crops can be short-term crops that can give us that fast turnover. Then we could use some of this money to establish long-term crops and to know that we have to be non-seasonal in Dominica. We have to grow our crops, figure out ways, move with technology, how to grow crops all year round, so we could have it all year round supplies for the states that we supply, and not only having it for 6 months a year, and then the next 6 months we don't have it to export. So it's a lot of work to put back in the agricultural sector. And I believe if we go back into agriculture sector, when I talk about agriculture, that includes fishes and the other part of agriculture. Does not
Animals and
farming
animal
yet.
husbandry and everything else.
Can you remember the days when our milk used to come from the cow and
Yes,
freshly to the
and our
market?
meats.
And our meats used to be freshly
Mhm.
butchered on a Saturday morning, and you go and get that meat for. Do we have the capability? Of
And
course we do.
and we have a how you call it?
Abattoir.
We have an abattoir, but what are they abattoiring? It look like it's all the people who are just disappearing every minute. Because I don't see we raising any livestock. I don't see we, what are we
So
doing?
that's what
We
I'm saying.
importing
Like
chicken every day.
the opportunities are there. We have things in place, structures in place already. It's just having the right people to put there to push it. And like I said, everybody say, "Oh, you say in team unity," and then I work with people, forward-minded people who wants to put Dominica where Dominica should be. And if it comes to the point where ego have to be taken out to do it, well, like you say, I'm a humble person. I work for people all the time. That's what we need to do as a people. We need to take out our egos in certain areas and give the people what is best for them. We can do it. We have done it before. We can do it again. Agriculture is the way forward in both. Like I just say, bringing back our cows and our goats, bringing back our sheep, bringing back our rabbits. See that we have rabbit festival once a year in some of the places. So all is a way we could use those things. We could roast, smoke our rabbits, sell smoke meat out there to other places. There are so much things that we can do with our meat. A young lady is smoking wing, imported wing. Just imagine her buying the chicken from the local farmers and then smoking it. That's two income right there for the community. One making it, one smoking it. Two businesses. Money staying and circulates. The longer
Question.
your money stays circulating in a place, the richer the people become.
Okay, so you're talking about jobs, 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 jobs. They told us
Creating
we had
jobs.
jobs, 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 jobs.
Exactly.
What's your plan for? You mentioned agriculture. Any other plans for job creation? Or I guess I'm also thinking about, do you have a plan to recruit Dominicans outside of Dominica to come back in?
Yes, we also had that. We had that plan. We don't want to like speak of all our plans because you know how it is already. But we had
How is it? How is it
idea.
already? You say we
We
know how it is already. How is it already?
if you say idea, some people like to take it and try to make it, but it does not come out as is because they don't know the backing
because
and the back of
because
it.
the original blueprint was not theirs.
You're
So
Nice.
talking about
I don't know how
copycat
they
politics? You're
adopt
talking
it.
about
It's not going to
copycat
work.
politics?
But I do think the diaspora and the local and the people that are in Dominica could work so well together. And for example, when I was speaking to somebody, I tell them we have so much Dominicans stay in Florida. Can't we make a association in Florida that deals with importation of local Dominica local value added products and other products? We have that association and employ 2 or 3 Dominicans to work in that business while we import our value added products into that place. So we have somebody who's going to buy from us because it's an organization that we created to help stimulate the economy in Dominica. Yes, we can do that. The diaspora can come on board and do that. They can make us an association in Texas. They can do one in New Jersey and know that we will be sending it to them. They clear the thing with they sell and it's exchange in trade in US currency and it's an exchange because people out there, we have a lot of people in the States, who would wish to be drinking our cocoa tea still when it's snowy out there, who want our cinnamon sticks, who want different value added products. See, for example, I there are a lot of people. I came down to Dominica. I went to the supermarkets before I came down, and I spoke to them. I tell them, hey guys, we have other value added products in Dominica that I'd like you to try. Apart from our agricultural produce, we have soaps, we have shampoos, we have hair products, we have person that make deodorant, local deodorant with honey and so forth. We have cocoa sticks that are packaged and the supermarkets tell me, okay, Petra, go and make sure you don't come back empty-handed. The first thing I did when I came Monday, I went to town and I went by um Web Web Quail, is that's the name?
Is that Creole?
The place it's an association where Dominicans bring their local produce in in the old markets in
Okay.
Roseau. They have
Okay.
that stuff good and you get all natural stuff. And I went
Mm.
there and I buy different stuff. I buy soap, I buy
I know what
JD's
you're talking
products,
about.
nature blend product. You understand what I'm saying? I buy the cold pot soap, the nice cold pot soap that smells so well. So I can bring it back to the supermarket so they can see first and the type of products that we have in Dominica. And I also speaking with them to make a corner
Just like
pattern
one
store.
second, please. Let me get
Zeb.
a box
Dominican
of
Yes,
it.
it's Zeb Quayle.
Dominican
Thank you,
farmers.
Winnie.
Zeb Quayle, look the person right there, Zeb Quayle. So yes, Zeb Quayle. So I also trying to see how they can put a little corner store of just
Look,
to write
look,
Dominican.
they have some. This those are things I got in Dominica.
You see, look
They
at,
have
yes, that I got some to for me to
yeah,
showcase in. Yes, very good,
those
very good.
and they also have they also have the lip gloss,
Lip balm, yes,
the lip balm as well. See
she has
here,
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
among other
So,
things.
so here's the thing. So here's a question. People have been saying these ideas for more than 22 years. Has the incumbent implemented any of these ideas, except for NEP? What is it? He said neg and negwes upon. We are supposed to tell the ideas like the long time ago when the other part. Okay, so other parties, he's saying, used to do manifestos, and the community would know what the organization, what the party was going to do. Right, that was
we
their
have it in the
to-do list.
manifesto. We
Yes,
do have it in the manifesto as well. So if somebody
okay,
wants to watch for the manifesto of TUD, they can go on our Facebook page and
yeah.
they'll be able to access it right there. So there are a lot of things. We also have sports. We speak a lot about sports.
Where can
Um,
we access the manifesto?
on TUD Facebook page, Team Unity Dominica Facebook page.
Okay.
You could message us there. There is our contact number and our email address. If you want us to send you a copy, we could do that as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
And so we are trying to bring back a lot of the things. Health and wellness is another thing in Dominica. We could see our health situation in Dominica. Our
What
facilities are
is
not
it?
up to
What's our
par.
health situation in Dominica?
Our facilities are not up to par. There are basic things that you cannot get when you go to the health centers and so forth. And so we see how we need to bring our to another standard because we have a lot of emergencies. If you look in Dominica, a lot of people, I hear a lot of people saying that this life could have been saved have we had that equipment in place. So these are some of the things that we have to go and look into. And this is some of the things that we have in our manifesto as well, how we would get these equipments to the people of Dominica, ensure that our one of our other stuff, I don't want to cross over, for our nurses and policemen also is initiative. A nurse should not be able not to have a house in Dominica for the type of service that they give. So you have to put things in place to enhance the life of your people. And I know we have that 8 bank 3%, but when you go, some people when they go there, the amount of stuff that they ask them for, they are unable to access the funds that are there placed for them, as the people say. You have to make things easier for the people who serve the country, especially the nurses and the policemen. I believe with greater incentive, our nurses will be better people because they'll be more relaxed. They have things they wanted to achieve in life, they'll be able to achieve, and then they would give better care to our people. And that's just a human part of it. Some people say, oh, but they choose to be nurse and they should be. Yeah, but they are people too. We have to remember they are people too. And when you are short staffed and you don't have the supplies, you too get frustrated as a nurse.
Okay. Thank you for that. So, okay, question from Banahin Orville. When are you going to meet with the people of your constituency? Because most of them don't know that you are the candidate.
Well, I will be meeting with my people not this week. I put for next week. So I will be making flyers passing out to give the people and let them know that hey, I have some ideas that I would like to bring forth to you. I want you to attend. Let us reason. Let us see. Let me tell you how we can work together to improve your lives because it's not about me. It's about the people to improve your lives and speak to them as a group and then speak to them on one. I do have a few people that tell me, hey, yeah, yes, man, congratulations. I need to speak to you. So it's not all negative. I cannot say it's all negative. There are people who tell me, girl, I love your vibes. I know you since we growing up. You're always the person that like to push people forward. I would really like to hear what you have to say. So there are some people who are still positive, and I'm working with that positive to make sure I meet the needs of that people in terms of keeping that meeting with them to hear so that they can hear some of my ideas.
Okay, I got a question about the CBI because you just mentioned earlier that really it's about 60%, maybe more,
Maybe
right,
more. Yeah.
of our GDP, how we get our money. What's your plan to manage that program?
Well, for me, when I look at the program, based on all I'm taking the data from the news and from the from all the news in the area that's been circulating online, official news as to what we have, the standard we need to meet. And I believe if we do it properly, because it's been there for a while, we vet the people properly. We have the people come down to Dominica to so that they can do all their paperwork right here in Dominica instead of having them over there. They never know where Dominica is situated. And they must invest in some type of industry in Dominica that's going to impact the lives of others. So it's not about just giving them things for them to travel all over the place. You vet the people, you check, do a background check, criminal background check. You make sure that they are willing to come to work with your people and invest in like your hotels, in agriculture, different sectors in your country. So it have to directly people have to directly gain from somebody having that passport. It's not just taking it and putting it somewhere that you don't know. The monies have to be actually distributed among the people where people can see the impact that the selling the passport have for the people and meeting the requirements. Like these requirements are not hard requirements, like doing a complete background check on somebody. I'm not giving the passport to alleged criminals. I don't want to say because you know how it is on social media already.
They are criminals.
Well, I'm just saying.
Well, I will say it for you. They are criminals.
Well, some of them, I saw the news about them. I saw, like you say, yes, some of them are indeed criminals. And if a background check was done, we'd have been able to catch that kind of stuff and not give
I've got
them
a
the
question. Do you have any idea why these background checks have not been able to be done
Well,
properly
I cannot
or
say
up to par?
specifically, but it would look to me that it to me it, from the outside looking in, it suggests that it is to have the monies more of the monies coming in. That is the main reason. Like if I don't have to do that part of it, I can sell more passport because most of the people who want it is people that are quote unquote shady and are willing to give that amount of money to gain a new identity to go to somewhere else. So that is what I've been talking about. Like that is why I think that it's so hard to do because the intent of it was not what I am thinking. Like what I'm thinking, like to get that money to come in to invest in Dominica to help the population to be better, or to empower somebody, or to use the money to put it back in agriculture to bring it back to the next level that everybody could benefit. So when values differ, that's what happened.
Well, Margaret, if you allow me to jump in on the CBI,
Please. Yes, yes.
um, there's a lot of talk about the CBI, and a lot of the talk has been for over a decade,
Yeah.
and nothing was done. The Dominican people did not hold the government accountable. The government continued to be reckless. CBI, or citizenship by investments, was sold to crooks and criminals all over the world who wanted a second passport to navigate where their passport of origin would not allow them to navigate.
Yeah.
And so Dominica's passport became the tool to evade customs, the
Yeah.
tool to evade immigration. And this is what got us in all of that hot water. But we had enough time where we could hold our government accountable and fix it. If well, all I would not say all Dominicans were aiders and abettors, but when you look at it, we have to say we were aiding and abetting. We allowed it because we did not hold our government accountable. And this is why we are here with the visa bans today. So everywhere has shut us out. The EU, the US, everywhere has closed in on us, and they're looking at putting a ban, putting a total ban on the CBI.
Mhm.
Now, those are passports that did not take the new Dominican citizens to Dominica to invest in Dominica to create jobs in our economy. That was used as a vehicle to enrich the
So
persons
we
who
were
were
used. So we the people were used, like
yes, to sell in the
gutted out
yeah, the
for other
people who
people's
sell in the
gain.
CDI, where they got 90% for themselves and only 10% of the country. So it did not serve us Dominicans. But you find that we are the ones being punished now because the very same people who got us, who put us in that position, the people we did not hold accountable, they have the visas to travel to wherever they want to. For them, the wives and the children, they're traveling. And we, the Dominican people, and I'm saying we, the people of Dominica, we can't travel because we have passports, man. If we have an emergency, we cannot get out of Dominica. If your child wants to go and study, you cannot send your child to the US to study. And we had those privileges for years. For decades, we had those privileges. And then this is what happened. So to now, I don't see how we can fix this issue with the visa problem because this
Well,
is
does TUD have a plan to fix this
how?
issue?
How are we going to fix it? I don't see how we're going to
How
fix it.
how would your organization fix this problem?
Well, like I said, the problem, like Miss Marcel said too, the problem, we're not even sure how far in to this it is. So you have to get in there to see what is happening, to determine what can be done to deal with that particularly. But on the surface, from what we are hearing, from the news outlets and the leaders who are speaking about it and so forth, we could see that they have done injustice to that CBI program, and it have been, like she said, it we have neglected it so long that it's going to be a challenge for anyone who come in there to try to fix it. But I cannot say how it is on the back end. So I'd have to really go on the back end to reevaluate what is happening, why did it happen, how that we could change the narrative from the back end before I could answer that question. Before I could understand that question fairly, because it would be unfair to me to say that are we going to do that without having the actual data to back up what I'm going to say.
I
So I
get
have
that.
to go in there to see it. To on the surface, we know all what we are losing. We are losing access to almost everywhere. That's what we are seeing out as the result. But at the back, we're not sure why this happened from the back end. So we have to go and get the data on that so that I will
So
be able
what I
to
hear
answer
you saying is we need to know we need an
what the real
assessment
deal is.
to know what
Because
the
remember,
problems
nobody
are,
is
so
speaking
you know
about
what
what
to
the real deal
fix.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But we know
We need
it
to
is there in
evaluate.
the open because all these people were apprehended. We were sending people into other countries, and you said it earlier. We were
Like
not bringing
we
the
don't have the
citizens
data
to
on how many
Dominica,
people.
but
That's
you
what
were
I'm
sending
saying.
them to other people's countries where we created a security threat to these countries. And that
I,
is what it
I
does.
I am totally agree with you. What I'm saying is that we don't for now. I remember the workers were trying to um get the data on how many people that this passport was sold to, where these people were from. But we don't have that type of data as on the outside. We'd have to get that type of data from the inside because it's not being provided for us. So we could make a greater assessment of the situation. But we know our privileges that are being deprived because we can hear the news, we see what is happening. We are not blind, but still yet we need to know how many people the passports were issued to. We don't have a specific count of it. We do not know where all the people are from. We cannot say, okay, 90% of the people given the passport was from that country. We don't have all that data. So we'd have to go in the back end to gather that data to make an assessment and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. We
So what you're
won't be
saying, what you're
within
saying is there's a lot of information that we,
that
the
are missing.
public, have never been exposed to. We don't have the raw data. You have to be on the inside to have that information. That
But we could see the results of what is happening because we cannot travel to, as she just said, if you have a student that you have been sending that child to school and your plans was to get that child into university in the States, now where are you now?
even
What
St. Croix, they can't go to the University of the Virgin Islands in St. Croix.
no,
They
because
can't go
we
to
are
Puerto
here too.
Rico. They
Yes, it's
can't go
real
to
life.
Puerto Rico. People keep talking about the mainland, but you can't get to
But they
St.
can go to
Thomas.
Exactly. They can go to their
You're about to not be able to, as Margel is saying, you're about to not be able to go to Guadeloupe.
exactly. And that is our
Exactly.
back. That is our like is our yard. We have so
Guadeloupe,
many of our people
Martinique,
in Guadeloupe and Martinique.
we would
People from
not be able to go there
Capuchin,
soon.
people
They
from
might even do
Capuchin
a
take their
trade.
little boats and go over to Les Saintes for a
Exactly.
night to do shopping.
Yes, and they
You
go
know what
there
I
to
mean?
sell the produce because that's
To
what
sell
my
their
father did
produce.
growing up.
Yeah,
And then remember our trade, our export trade. We have a lot. We have boats leaving every Sunday from the Longhouse port going to Saint Martin.
yeah. French
So
side
you
of St.
see, so you
Martin.
see, that
The
is what
hucksters.
happens when you have bad ways. When you have a malcase child, nobody wants the child. The child can only stay within the corners of your house and
Yes.
around your yard. All the neighbors them say, you don't come in here. You too rude. You're not coming here. You too malcase. I don't want that child to come in my backyard. That is what we had. We had a malcase child governing the country for too long. And those
and
are
and
the
a child
consequences
who's
of
been
it.
warned and warned and warned and warned. So even now,
Over
you
and
have a
over.
warning from the EU. You have until 2028 to wrap this thing up.
And
But
it's
but
going to
they're
pan
going
off.
off. They're talking about now. Well, we're going to go over there to talk. To talk about what? They've
And
said wrap it up.
whether we are inside, the policies are the policies. They're not
Yes.
going to be reversed because once they take those actions on those policies, we are
They're,
screwed. We
and
are
they're gonna
screwed
they
both
lose
back and
clients. They
front.
lose clients if they really do have to follow the rules. They're gonna lose clients, and who's gonna buy it?
Yeah.
Who's left to buy it? Who's left? Because where they're going? They're not coming to Dominica with these
Yeah. They're
passports.
not.
And what they are doing is running an illegal operation. That is an illegal operation because since in 2017, when CBS 2 News ran on Dominica's CBI, that is what they said that our prime minister was involved in. He was involved in creating a gaping hole in the security of America. We have to understand that the Caribbean is
I think
situated
that's the
in
part.
the
I
US.
think that's the part. Like my stomach hurts me. I have a hole in my belly when I think about it because we are being irresponsible when we don't realize this is going to be just less said. Marie Gallant. Most of our hucksters go to St.
Mm,
Martin. This is where we
Exactly.
make our money. You
Yes.
understand?
mm.
If
This
we
is
can say
problematic.
all we want about, well, let's, somebody told me the other day, well, we will sell, our business people will sell to friendly markets. You have never been in business for you to say
I
we're
know.
going to
That's
sell
what I'm
only to
saying. Like
friendly
people
markets.
don't understand. They don't
You don't
understand the
understand.
domino effect of this
Sometimes your
thing.
friends will not buy from you.
But we will see how
Exactly.
this
They don't want
cohesive
what you
unity
have.
that we speak about shows up in that situation
We
because
have to fix the problem.
it's sad.
It is a
It's sad.
problem that is not going to go away. It is too painful for these countries to have weird people come to their countries and cause them problems. They're
Yeah.
not coming to Dominica to cause the problems because they don't want what's in Dominica. They want
Yeah.
what's over
What
there.
we have,
We
what they
must
wanted is access.
see this.
Like she said, they wanted the access to the places that we were going for free.
It's like they told us bend down and they stepped on us to climb up to where they wanted to go to. We have to see that. No, I
Yes.
understand we've gotten a lot of money from it, but the money again was improperly used to put us in a
Utilize.
place
It did not
economically
help with
where
the
now we do not need it anymore. It's like selling drugs.
Hmm.
If you think you're gonna sell drugs until your retirement, that's a bad business model. You do what you gotta do, build what you gotta build so you can get out of the game. That's what had to happen with the CBI. Not the idea that we're gonna sell it until fin du monde, mon cher. It makes
Like
no
like
sense.
like sell the soul of the country. And you know, Margaret, the visas were like a professional in a you had an invitation. You had a formal invitation to an event. But you chose to tell your friend, your Malcasi friend, You can come to the party, come to the event,
To
and they
come and
show up there
party.
in their jeans and their boxers and their tennis shoes and what have you. And then when they just throw us out, they just take us and they say, you all got to go. You and your friends are not welcome. They just push us out and they shut the door on us. It is the same thing. And then we sat there as a people and we tolerated all of that. We did not hold our government accountable. Now we are suffering. We are
We did not
wondering,
do
how
our
are we going to
duty.
go to Guadeloupe? How are we going to go to Martinique?
We have misunderstood our duty. We have
Yeah.
misunderstood our duty towards people we put into office. It is our job. It is our
People have to
responsibility
remember.
to
I always tell
tell
the people,
them this
we
right here is hurting us. You got to do it in a different way. We vote for you to do it in a way that is good for us. If I'm telling you it's not good for me, and you yourself you're seeing, you're supposed to see it's not good for me. You have to make an adjustment.
like I tell people all the time, you are the power of Dominica. You decide what you want. One person cannot decide it for you. You choose that person to go out there to do it for you. But you have to keep that person accountable. The person have to be accountable to you, because at
As
the
an
end of the day,
adult,
when 15,000 people vote for you to put you there to represent them, you have to be accountable to that 15,000 people.
but
It's
here's
your
the thing.
job to ensure that you stay
But here's
accountable.
the thing. Here's the thing. You see how you cannot force people to buy for you? Although, really, you can force people to buy for you with marketing psychology. Well, you don't force them, but you can shape them into buying for you, right? Right there, though, we the people, we cannot force our leadership to do the right thing, but we can
Because we
by
have a choice.
voting them out.
Because
This
we
is
have a
the
choice.
strategy we have. This is the
Because we
tool
have a
we have.
choice. Because we
This is
have a
the
choice.
tool
I
we
tell
have. We
people,
do.
your vote is your voice. I understand if you don't want to come in the public and speak against them, but let your vote be your conscience. On the day of election, go in and do what must be done.
You know, you say conscience is beyond conscience right now. It is survival. It is our collective survival because everybody's going to be hurt by this. Not going to be, everybody's being hurt by it.
Yeah.
It is beyond conscience. It is about survival right now. And so I think, as we start wrapping up, it's 8 o'clock. We in Dominica have to make a decision as to whether or
Conscience won't do
not
that.
we're going to sacrifice the one so that the all can survive, or if we're going to sacrifice the all for the one to survive.
Yeah.
That's our question right now. That's our question right now.
I'm so you guys are
I
so
think, sometimes we have to reach rock bottom
I know.
in order for us to understand. Right now, we are at rock bottom. And it is often said for you to be able to swim, sometimes your 2 feet have to reach the bottom of the pool. When you are in that bottom of the pool, you tell yourself, I am not going to drown. So then you push up from the bottom of the pool and come up to the surface. But right now, this is the situation. And we can say it's survival if we think what we are doing is survival, encouraging the thievery of the country, and think that it is survival. We are just aiding and abetting with thieves, with corrupt politicians. Because when there are people who see that the money belongs to Scarrett, is his money after selling the sovereign assets of our country and pocketing the money and giving it out vi. There is a special bank. They have a separate bank in the financial center. When you walk up the steps of the financial center, if you have a problem, then they pacify you with $3,000. Or you have a complaint, take that $3,000. The jumpy money is often distributed in the financial center. Where are you getting all of these monies? And Dominicans are accepting it. Dominicans find no problems with that because I always tell Dominicans the only monies that belong to the prime minister is his salary. Is
That's
his
it.
salary.
That's it.
The country's money is not his money. It is it is the
It's
state
the state's
money. It
money.
is part of the state assets. So you cannot encourage that kind of corruption in Dominica and think that you are not going to suffer. Anywhere there's rampant corruption, you know who people suffer? The
The
people
poor.
suffer.
Yeah.
Everybody, everybody,
Everybody suffer, the country suffer.
everybody.
And that is what is happening right now. You have no health care. You have none of the no functioning institutions. Dominica is further sunken into poverty. You have joblessness. You have mentally ill people just roaming the streets. It is just too much. It is stressing the country. Is just too much. And we sit down there talking kumbaya and playing politics and talking nonsense. And we think that accepting the poor people accepting $300 is the only bribe. When you accept a job at the expense
Of the
of your
countries.
voice, it is a bribe. I don't
Yeah.
care who you are,
It
Correct.
hurts your
a
soul.
bribe. So
Yeah.
it's not
Correct.
only the people getting the $3,000 in the envelope that are accepting bribes. You were vocal, you spoke for the country, and then suddenly you got a job, and then suddenly your voice went away. It is accepting bribes. You are not doing the
Exactly.
country justice. And
Well said.
anytime you offer me a job and you tell me you better shut your A, else.
Yeah.
No,
Well said. Well said. It's like
it is a
exchange for
bribe.
your
It
voice.
is a
I pay
bribe.
you.
I
I give
suppose
you something so you can keep it.
if I have a job, I supposed to have my freedom of speech. And if you offer
Exactly.
me a job at the expense of my freedom of speech, it is a bribe as well, even if
Well,
I am
in the first
qualified for
place,
the
you
job or
should
not.
only offer me a job if I'm qualified. So
Even if
we've
I'm
already
qualified
lost
or
the
not, and you
plot.
offer me a job so
Yeah,
that I
we
can
already
stop
lost the plot.
speaking, it's like putting a silencer in my mouth with because you offer me a job. It is
Putting a
also
nozzle.
a bribe.
Yes. It is called a bribe. If you accept anything for your voice, it is called a bribe. And we see it happening in plain sight. And some people are okay with it, but we're not seeing how it's going to affect us in the long run, our
Well,
children.
it's gotten us here, though. It's gotten us to where people are
We're
afraid to go
here.
to the hospital. You know, it's just not working. It can't work for a long time, and it's been quite long. You know. Anyway, let's deep breath in. Breathe the trauma out. This has been a collectively traumatic experience for many people. We've got to admit that there will be time for healing. Marston, you made a beautiful comment earlier about many women showing up in the political sphere right now. And kind of energetically, Dominica does need midwives, people with
Yes.
already a kind of an orientation towards healing, helping us come through this because this has been protracted and so long. It's not in our best interest. I don't know how much longer to say it. I don't know how much louder to say it. I don't know. Moradia Creole, Moradia Anglais, Moradia Spanish. We have to get out of this
Yes, we do.
flow. We've got to change the flow. We got to change the direction. It is okay to
We have
change.
to change the formula. Because if
We
we don't change the formula, we will get the same results. That's the
And
way it's
this
going to be.
this is just not good. It's not necessary to continue like this. What we're getting from this is not so valuable that we would
That we cannot
continue.
give it up.
Yes, yes,
We
yes,
can give up. I,
yeah, yeah.
I don't know
So
how people. I don't know how people give up the independence. I am a person. I love to speak my mind, and I find it very difficult for somebody to tell me not to say what I want to say. I will be respectful,
Mm.
but I will give you my views.
well,
I
let's
will
wrap
be
up.
respectful, but I will
Petra.
give you my views. So when
At,
people give up
at
those views, they say,
8:07, I appreciate that. When Dominicans finish watching this interview, Petra, you got a minute here to tell them why they should take you anti-immunity seriously. What words do you want to leave the people with as far as who you are, what you're bringing to the table, and your wishes for Dominica?
okay, I'll start with my wishes. So my
Mm-hmm.
wish for Dominica is to bring Dominica to the point where everybody is independent,
Mm-hmm.
everybody can speak and say what is affecting them without being victimized or persecuted. I want to bring Dominica back to the place where people had their could use their innovative minds and create stuff, become their own boss, become entrepreneurs, and there were resources in place so they would have the privilege, if they wanted to become their entrepreneurs, and they did not necessarily have to go and do police or firemen or nurses because this is what it have.
Mm-hmm.
Nursing, police, and firemen were if it's what you like before, and not because that's the only job that's available because there's nothing else to do. Bring it to the point where people can choose their occupation, choose what they want to do. Bring it to the point where people can say to themselves, today I want to go on vacation in St. Martin and have their
Yeah.
own monies to get there in St. Martin, where they could put their children in schools. If they don't want government schools, they can put them in private schools because they feel it's better for them because they have the money. I want me and Team Unity want to bring back where our people had the spending power too, so that they can make informed decisions for themselves. Because I learned one thing in life: the person that feeds you controls you, and there is
100%.
no free lunch. So anybody who think otherwise, they are kidding themselves. We want to bring back to the people, give them skills, empower them, let them become independent. They have lost that for so long. It's going to be a challenge, but we are willing to work with our people and do the best for our people to bring Dominica where it used to be.
Thank you. All right. Here for the fun part, because it's been so stressful. I love doing these rapid fire questions. This has been a lot, Petra. Yeah, we went to Capuchin in the Heights. We went to Kashaku. We went to Pebush, Mopak. We were in Trafford. We went everywhere, right? So, a few detox questions, rapid fire. All right. First question. This is Sunday morning, right? The Dominica breakfast. Cocoa tea, cocoa, or coffee? What are you choosing?
Oh, Kokoti.
Cocoa tea. All right. Politics in heels or politics in sneakers?
Oh, I love politics in hills. Oh my gosh.
Why?
Because because I am short, so I feel like doing my politics in heels will give me that extra edge over somebody else.
One word your friend Marceline loves heels too. One word your friends would use to describe you.
Oh, outspoken.
Outspoken, outspoken. All right, next question. Which Dominican village has the best food? Don't be biased. Which Dominican village has the best food?
Best food. Well, I would say.
To
Hmm,
curry.
well, I would say. Well, from I going to say it not from home perspective, but from restaurant perspective.
Restaurant.
It is nice. I would have to say you have to come keeping it real into
That's
curry.
it.
I
Our
see.
fish is on point.
100%.
Our lobster is on point. So you need to come down there and enjoy yourselves because yeah, our food down there is on point. Sorry
All
about
right,
that.
awesome. Last question is one thing you always carry in your handbag.
One thing I always carry on my handbag is my
Mhm.
monies.
Your what? Your money?
My monies. My mother always say walk with your thank you money. So if you go somewhere and then the person say, well, because you didn't comply to my liking, I'm not going to drop you home. You say, oh, that's okay. I'll call a taxi. So I
That's
always
right.
work with
That's
my
right.
monies so that I know I
That's
am independent to do what I want when I want to do it.
right. Very good. All right. So thank you so much for this. And now I want to throw a question out to you and Marceline. In the past week, what is one piece of good news you saw for Dominica or in Dominica? In the past week, one piece of good news.
Well, one piece of good news I saw in the past week is that there are still Dominicans who want change. There are still Dominicans who have the same idea like I have to bring us back to the former days when we were more prosperous. In the days when we
Mhm.
were
The
more
people were
prosperous. So that is
prosperous.
one thing I see to I get positive during the week from some of the people.
Mhm. Thank you. Marceline.
You want my positive news,
Yes,
Margaret?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I always speak up for my women, and I want to say that it is the positive of the positive is when I saw the launching in Roseau of another woman putting herself forward to take that mantle of leadership as a candidate and the future parliamentary representative of where Roseau South.
Also South.
So this made me glad. Not because of UWP, but as a woman coming forward, coming to make a difference. We know that women play a very important role in the political arena. Women play a very important role in leadership in our society. Our leadership style is quite different from the men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We think differently. Yes, we do. And who best to put policies in place to take care of women, take care of the family, take care of children, and even the men too, is the
Yeah.
women.
For
So
sure.
we have seen women leaders who are moving mountains for their country. I mean, Mia Mottley is not one of my favorite, but she is doing well by the standards
Yeah.
of Barbados.
Mm-hmm.
And we have seen Kamala Persad Bissessa.
Mm-hmm.
She
Yes.
has come in and she really shook up CARICOM.
Shaking things up. Yeah.
She really shook things up from the good old boys
Oh, yeah.
corruption club.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the same as it has been. So I am hoping that more women will come forward, and more women who will birth Dominica, who will bring that stillbirth, that dead baby that
Mm-hmm.
Dominica is trying to push out, that
It's been
hard labor
holding in her
for
womb for
20
so
years.
long.
That baby has been breached. I hope the women, they call them a patois name, Margaret. I can't remember the patois name they call those midwives.
There is over here they call them doula. I don't know
Yeah,
if
so
that's what you're
so
thinking
I,
of.
I'm hoping our political doulas is
Mm-hmm.
going to bring out that dead baby
Mm-hmm.
so that Dominica can grow, Dominica
Yep.
can resuscitate, Dominica can the milk and honey can flow from the breast of Dominica, and Dominican children will not be hungry. They will not be pushed up or to the side as second-class citizens. Dominicans need to be first in their own country,
Mm-hmm.
where the sacrifices of their ancestors were made to give them a home. This is
Mm-hmm.
what we
We
call
fought
home.
hard for this. We fought hard for this.
It is home. And we cannot allow the neo-colonizers to come and recolonize Dominica under fake development, take over the best parts of our country, push out our indigenous people. We have to stand up, rise up, and take our country back.
Ah, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Okay, so I'm going to share mine. Mine is Gute Dominic. Mine is that I'm very impressed with Discover Dominica, and they're coming up with some very fresh ideas that I think are positive for Dominica. I liked the inaugural Gute Dominic. I think we do good food in Dominica. I do think we need to elevate our cuisine, like make fancy things out of the things that we've gotten very accustomed to. And I liked the Gute Dominique intention and idea. All right. So, y'all, we have a lot of gratitude for all of you who sat in with us. We went a little over, but you all still stayed with us steady. Thank you for your time. Um, many comments, many powerful questions. Petra, we appreciate you for doing your best to answer a lot of questions. Yeah, thanks for joining us, allowing people to learn more about you, uh, not just as a political leader of your party, but as a human being, as a woman, Dominican, with your own vision for Dominica. And the thing is, each of us needs to have a vision for Dominica. Each of us needs to have a vision for Dominica. And I'm hoping that, as you mentioned a word earlier about alignment, finding where we can align, understanding that I alone cannot make it happen, but sometimes I have to step aside. I've got to put my ego on a side and do what is in Dominica's best interest.
Mhm.
Leadership is important to help you see that. The
Yeah.
ability to sacrifice is important to help you see that. Yeah. And empathy and love, not just for yourself, but for other people. Okay. So, y'all, remember this. I know it doesn't always feel comfortable to say what it is you're feeling, what you're thinking, but we have to get involved. We just have to get involved. If you're afraid, I don't argue with anybody who's too afraid to speak up. I can't. But at the very least, mon cher, you can't be joining in. If you're too afraid to speak up, you can't be joining in, right?
Yeah.
So let's do our best to hold each other accountable, hold our leaders accountable, so we can create a better future and a better present for us. I'm not in this business about waiting until. Pastor say, Jodi, mom avi. I'm alive today. I need
Yeah.
to enjoy my life today. I'm not waiting until tomorrow because tomorrow is not promised to
Not
me.
promise. I know.
It's not promised. You see? So we've got to stand up, I think, and take accountability and do better. I appreciate all of you guys. Marceline, you got a final. Send them home tonight, Marceline.
Okay,
Home
before
tonight.
we go, let me just acknowledge some of the people. Yeah,
Yay.
mention the names: Ferdinand Lawrence. I'm glad you're here. Marvin Sheldon Boland is here with us. Mali Ostri. Mali is watching from all the way from St. Thomas. And let me see. I don't want to call the same names twice. We have Tiso Gordon watching from Dominica. That's my sister there.
Oh,
Yeah. Who else do we have?
we got Chris Bugunu. We've got Wilworth
Yes,
Robin,
yes.
Marley Austri. Who else
And
is here with us? Joan Smith. Hi, Joan. We'd
yes,
love to have
yes,
you on, Joan.
yes, I know. Joan still needs to tell us how she managed from leaving full-time nursing and going to plant vegetables.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she has a rich story, a story of survival, and she
Wow.
made it. She made more money planting her vegetables and selling in the market than what she earned as a qualified nurse
Wow.
working at the Princess Margaret Hospital at the Chinese Friendship Hospital or how they call it there. So
We've
she
got
still has to come and
Julius.
tell us her story because
Wow.
that is a really really interesting story
We're
that
looking forward to that.
Dominicans need
We're
to
looking forward
hear,
to that,
and
Joan.
hopefully we won't have any how you call it, the hydro issues,
Right. Geothermal.
the geothermal issues like we
Yes. We
had
got
the last
Jody
time.
on. Happy Sunday, Jody. Good work, Jody.
Yes, yes. So Ferdinand is asking, UWP now has a new leadership team, which is something different. What has that changed? Well, this was taken into consideration already.
Hmm.
Mali Austri said, I don't think the leader of Team Unity understands what's going on in Dominica under Skerrit regime with elections. And another comment, Maslin and Margaret, have UWP in recent times ever once reached out to you guys? Margaret, you'll have to answer that, people, Margaret. For the
Happy Sunday, Ferdinand.
laughing at
actually,
candidates,
actually, yeah,
laughing,
yeah.
laughing.
We'll to
Yeah,
be continued. We'll respond another time on that. Yeah,
yeah, we will.
yeah.
Uh, Ferdinand says, laughing at candidates when the election gets closer doesn't line up with pulling out your candidate to make way for other opposing parties.
Hmm.
Other opposing parties' candidates. If that party's candidate is stronger, I am confused. So that is one of the comments that
Yeah. Happy Sunday, Lenny.
said.
Yeah.
Mali said, Skerrit only gives wife number one, else even 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 I put a disclaimer on that, people. Even they ask, he rough them up. Totally disclaimer. He do right. What they doing there? Rough themselves. Ah,
Oh boy.
they said good program. Slavery is in full force. Shaking my head. So sad. Yes. And Mali is in agreement with you, Petra. She's saying Skerrit will steal your ideas. So don't put them forward. She's in agreement not to put those ideas forward. Yeah. So yes, guys. So it's just a good afternoon, and Mr. Petra, I am glad to meet you where we could have this discussion, and it really enlightened me on quite a number of things that you said. Likewise, it enlightened the patrons watching
Audience.
here based on the questions that they were asking. I am glad you are here as a woman. I totally understand where you're coming from, and I hope your community also understand you as well. And what I will say is good luck to you, but
Yes.
I know you know that the political arena in Dominica is not a simple one. It can become very hostile towards, especially towards women. So you said that you're of Teflon material. I like when I like when a woman shows off her Teflon skin, because I myself I am made of that same Teflon, and I know Margaret herself is a Teflon woman as well. So I totally understand where you're coming from, because I love being Teflon. I love speaking my mind, and as you can see, and Margaret herself speaks her mind. You, another person, another great person to speak your mind. So you are a great voice on the political spectrum. As to whether running for constituency, this is left for you and your constituents to judge. But having your voice in the conversation is all good, because the more voices we have articulating the issues and articulating a better way forward is the best that we can have. We all must come in unison. We all must come in agreement, because we have to understand that we have one major problem. And the major problem is getting the cancer off, the bones, out of the bones of Dominica. Because if this cancer remains, then Dominica is only going to die. Right now, Dominica is in the abyss, but we still, with hope and faith and the working together, working smart, talking to everybody we meet, anybody we meet on social media, especially those in Dominica, encouraging them to go and register, encouraging them to get confirmed, you know, walking the walk and talking the talk. You said you like high heels, you like heels because you are short. But in that rugged terrain in Dominica, on the ground, and the level of work that needs to be done, there are times when you have to kick out those heels. And
Boots.
if you walk knee-pay or get your sneakers, then you have to put your sneakers and lace up. Because I love my heels, but when I'm in Dominica and I have to go and stand up at the bush in front of the truck and say, "You ain't coming here today. I have my sneakers on, but I love my heels." So that's the way to go. That's the way to do it, and we are doing it for our country. All our people on board listening to us. Just talk to somebody. Everybody knows a Dominican they can call to find out whether they are confirmed. What do you need for confirmation? Talk to somebody, because we all have that relationship with our country and its people. Nowadays, a call to Dominica is free, because thank God for WhatsApp. Margaret,
Mm.
you remember the day when we had to buy those cards,
Oh
and
Oh
then
my
God.
we
God.
we talk for two
Before you
minutes.
say hello, the
5 minutes,
money is gone
For
already.
2 minutes, the money done.
and you stop in the middle of a thought, like,
You're stuck in the middle of the conversation. Right now, things are so easy. Every one of us can make a call and speak for how long on that. And you're saying that, when did that happen? But thank God for WhatsApp. Thank God for even
for
Messenger.
change.
Facebook
Thank God
Messenger.
for change.
Thank God for
Thank God
that
for
change.
change.
So yeah, so change is good, and change benefits us. Is the
Yeah.
same way we need to change that government that is just like an
Yeah.
ATM with a bottomless pit, just sucking in all the finances that Dominicans have to get, outsourcing our jobs. We need a government. We need change. We need a government that will work for the people and not give the people 10% while they while they benefit
We need a new
90%
style. We need a
by
new
mansions,
style. We need a new
mansions after
style.
mansions. They have that kind of insatiable greed. That's
We need a new
that's it. Just
style.
like the sea, they can't be satisfied. So the more mansions they have is the more they want. The more money they have is the more they want, and they don't see that the Dominican, the dying Dominica that needs resuscitating. So that is where your voice and all the women who have put their voices on the front line, all the men, all the young people who are talking and working together for change come in to change that trajectory that we now have that it has not worked for the Dominican people. And we can do better. Dominica is a beautiful place. All we want is good governance. All we want is honest governance. All we
Yep.
want is governance of integrity, of love, of righteousness that will lead the country forward for the benefit of the Dominican people so that
Shared prosperity for all.
we can
Shared
remain
prosperity.
après body, c'est la terre. Our
Mm,
country will remain one Dominica, where we can all love each other and prosper as a people. So may God bless us as a people. Thank you, everyone on Facebook who has logged in with us. Thank you,
mm.
Miss Petra, for being here with us this evening to share your ideas, to talk to us. Margaret, thank you for yet another opportunity where we
Yes,
can
ma'am.
co-host this great program together. Pretty
Mm,
Girls Talk Politics. And of
mhm.
course, we do interview men as well. So it's not just
Yes,
Pretty Girls talking politics. And Margaret, don't forget that we are also bringing on a
yes,
Wednesday, a midweek refuel.
yes.
So we are going to refuel on Wednesdays. Is it on
And we're
Wednesdays?
going to be refueling from Marcelin's page on Wednesdays from 6 p.m.
From
Okay, so
6
y'all will
p.m.
come here at 6
Yes.
on Sundays with me, but then you will go with Marceline. We go into Marceline's house, sit down, have a little bit of squash, you know what I'm saying? A
And
little
we
bit
will
of
have
pepper and oil,
we have
a little
champagne, right?
champagne, a little water, you know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Yeah, man.
yes.
Yeah.
And maybe a little tea push because sometimes you have to drink some tea push because the number of issues that we have to deal with,
It's a
you
lot.
have to be a little tipsy for you to really deal with those issues.
Maybe
So
we'll take a little midweek shot, yo.
yeah, so one love, my people. We all love you. We beg to to differ on in certain aspects.
Mhm.
We tend to agree to disagree, but we love each other nonetheless. I
One
love
love
the
anyway.
same Miss Petra, Margaret, all the persons here. It's not just one love,
One
one
love
love.
anyway.
True
All right,
Dominican
y'all.
spirit. So let's get it done. Let's get the job done, and we will do it for Dominica and its people.
Amen.
Thank
Peace.
you.
Good
Thank you,
night.
Petra. Thank you, Marceline.
Welcome.
Thank you,
Yes,
Yes.
thank you.
guys.
God
Stay
bless.
on lot more.
Thank
Peace.
you, everyone. God bless us.